5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. We late, but we here. Is the audio good? Can y'all hear me? Are we cool? What's happening? Is today Monday? Today is Monday. Bro, I showed up on a Monday. Y'all, it ain't my fault that I'm late. It's the dog. It's the dog. I swear this dogs, they be knowing. They know when you got something to do and they gonna do everything under the sun but what you need them to do. Pretty girl Danny, thank you so much for being here in the live. Beloved reviews, thank you so much for being here in the live. Shout out to you. Hi Nikki, how are you doing? How is your second film coming along? I am doing swell. And my well, I guess it's technically my second film. So I made a short film and now I'm trying to make a feature film. So my script is done. I did a lookbook to accompany the script that shows like my vision for directing it, the visual style, etc., etc. And I am currently like 90% finished putting together my pitch deck, which if you're not familiar, a pitch deck is basically like how you get investors, how you get people to want to like help fund your film. It's kind of like if you try to start a small business and you do like a PowerPoint presentations for investors. That's pretty much what it is, but it's just for films. So that is what I'm working on currently. I'm super excited about this script. I'm so excited. It's not even funny. But yeah, let's hope I can actually get it made because it takes money. And when I tell you, I'm sitting here like, girl, you're gonna have to go beg. And I hate begging, but I'm gonna have to go beg people. And I was trying to think, who do I know with some money that would be willing to invest? I don't know nobody with no money. But you know who I know is my dentist. I was like, you know what? I know my dentist got some. I know my dentist got some bands. Okay, that man got money, and all his dentist friends and small business friends, I know they got money. So I'm gonna try to figure out some kind of way to get up to courage to be like, hey, dentist, I know we usually only talk about my teeth, but since you've been up in my mouth for the last couple years, I'm gonna need you to go up in them pockets and help your girl out. But yeah, that is where we are currently, is just trying to get um funding, and then once I'm probably about 40% at my funding goal, I'm going to start like finding cast and crew and getting all of that good stuff together. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. That's why I be a little MIA from YouTube, because I was trying to get my script and all that together. But the script is done. I finally got the final draft done. I want to say a little over a month ago, June. So y'all might see some, more frequent content from me. Rico, thank you so much for being here in the live. Shout out to you. I'm trying, Danny. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm really trying. But yeah, it's gonna be a feat trying to get it funded, because I'm like, I can't fund it. Child, y'all know I just self-funded my first short film along with some amazing donations from you guys. And yeah, I can't do that. I can't self-fund the feature. Like that short film left me broke as a joke. Like I gotta keep the roof over my head. And it's also just not smart to put your just put like personal money into a that's fine with a short film, but not for a feature. But we had this live, if anybody noticed, scheduled for last week. But I ended up wanting to do it this week because, well, I canceled it the first time because I was having a date and I just wasn't in the mood, child. But then I was like, you know what? Since I'm talking about 2026 movies, let me wait for a couple watches that I was about to see before I talked about 2026, because I got some watches in And you know, Jason Statham's Mutiny came out, and I don't know about nobody else, but I love Jason Statham. That's my guy. I love Jason Statham, and I love just a quality Jason Statham film. But when I first was like, let me get into some of my 2026 watches, and I was gonna do my 2026 watches and just my first time watches in general of like old movies, but I figured I'd just do 2026 today. And if y'all want, I could do my first time watches, but I figured we just stick to 2026 because when I first decided to do this, I was like, yo, 2026 is struggling. 2026 is struggling. It is in a struggle game with the films. But I was on like a little down. I was on a down streak because every film I saw, I was giving 1 star, 2 star. Like nothing was really great. But I'm glad I held off on this live because all of a sudden I'm on a run. I'm on a good run all of a sudden. I done seen some good watches. 2026, we up. We getting up. We getting up. And one thing that I do throughout the year is I keep a running list of my favorite movies of the year. And y'all know last year was a struggle. We were like over halfway through the year last year, and I think I barely had 5 favorite movies so far. This year at our halfway point, or a little over halfway, we're in August, child, but I'm gonna say this is my halfway point. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 movies on my 2026 fave so far. So I mean, this year looking better than last year. Last year was the first year since like 2020. I think I started doing like my top 10 favorite movies in like 2022, like official doing my top 10. Last year was the first year I didn't do a top 10 because I was just like, child, it ain't wasn't nothing worth nothing. It wasn't nothing worth nothing last year. But I got some favorites this year. So let's go ahead and let's start getting into my 2026 watches. We were on a downward spiral. It was rough, but you know what? We're peaking now. So I actually got a 2026 watch. Wait, is this from 2025 or from 2026? Because it says 2025 on Letterboxd, but that's not always like the official release. Let me see the official release date for Icefall. Because if it's not 20, oh, that's 2025. So we're not even finna talk about Icefall. That's 2025. Okay, so we're going to start with my most recent, and we're going to go backwards. So Mutiny with Jason Statham came out Friday, and it is literally just typical Jason Statham fare. Mutiny is where Jason Statham comes across these human traffickers and he's trying to save people from being human trafficked, and that's the movie. Very simple, very by the numbers, very predictable, but Jason Statham is fucking niggas up. And that is all I need. Like when it comes to Jason Statham, he played the same character in every movie, and I don't care because I like the Jason Statham character that he always plays. Just give me a solid story, give me some really good action, and I'm here for it. This is definitely one of my favorite Jason Statham movies overall. I had so much fun with Mutiny. I gave this a 4 out of 5. And one thing that I loved about this, I was kind of disappointed with a few of his recent movies like Shelter. Oh my God, I hated that movie. I don't think I even finished Shelter. I think I got like an hour in and I said, F this. But I feel like I love the Jason Statham formula, but I need all the moving parts to work, not just Jason Statham. And what I liked about Mutiny was I loved Jason Statham, but I loved all the characters around him. We actually got some good villains in this one. We got a good little side character there. I mean, she's the typical, you know, little pretty female side character in the movie, but at least you want a love interest, child, because I can't stand when they throw the love in. Like, babe, we ain't got time for them fucking love interests. We trying to fight for our life. So at least they didn't do that. But I actually really like the villains, and I love Jason Statham because when it comes to my action stars, I don't like an infallible action star. I don't like a Steven Seagal. Like, I don't like somebody who don't get a scratch on them. And I love the fact that Jason Statham be effing people up, but he gets damage done to him as well. And I love that. I don't like for my action. I don't like it to be too unbelievable, unrealistic. Like, if you fighting 50 guys, somebody gonna stab you, somebody gonna punch you. Like, come on, man, you gotta take some kind of damage, child. But y'all know, if you know, you know about Steven Seagal and his movies. Jason gonna stay cashing the same British tough guy role every movie, and I'm not mad at it. I'm truly not mad at it. It's a lot of actors who pretty much just play the same variation of the same character in every movie, and I don't always like it, but I like it when it comes to Jason Statham because, like I said, I like that British tough guy role he played every single motherfucking time. Look, every time I see Jason Statham, he's Jason Statham. Every time I see him, he gonna be him, child. And I'm not mad at it. I'm not hating it. I totally understand that. That's pretty cool. Jason can get away with playing the same character in every movie. I just love it. I mean, it's a lot of people play the same character. Y'all know I love my guy. I love my guy Will Smith. Nothing can make me not like Will Smith. But Will Smith be playing the same character. And Will Smith be playing Will Smith. And he plays some variation of the Will Smith character in every movie until he was trying to get his Oscar. And you know, he was doing 8 pounds and concussion and stuff like that. But when it comes to Will Smith, like blockbuster movies, I don't care if it's Bad Boys, I don't care if it's Independence Day, he gonna play some variation of Will Smith. He's gonna be some, you know, comedic, you know, lines in there. Like, he gonna play Will Smith. Or the Will Smith character, as I like to say, because, you know, it's the Jason Statham character, it's the Will Smith character. Like, they play that same character. Vin Diesel gonna always be Vin Diesel. He gonna always be Vin Diesel. I don't care if he over there. Ain't he the one was in the pacifier? I don't care what he doing. He gonna always play the Vin Diesel character. Mark Wahlberg gonna always play the Mark Wahlberg character. It's a lot of actors who pretty much play the same variation of the same character every time you see them. It's really nothing different, and I'm not even mad at it. I'm not even mad at it. Like, I prefer for an actor to know what they're good at and to play that up, as opposed to being one of these actors that's in movies and you're like, baby, why is this actor here? You ain't got the range for this role, baby. Everybody cannot be Angela Bassett. Like, everybody can't be a thespian. It's okay to just be a fun actor, and I am all for fun actors. Next we have Pinocchio Armstrong. How the hell Pinocchio? Y'all, this movie was so good. I'm sorry. So, if you're not familiar, we have these new little cinematic universe of the children's cartoons, children's tales that they are turning into horror movies, like Winnie the Pooh. They did it with Bambi. And I enjoy the movies. They're like so bad they're good type of movies, right? I think I'm the only person on planet Earth who liked the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie. I like bad movies, especially bad horror movies that's gonna be violent and gory. But y'all, they trying to step their game up, because Pinocchio isn't a so bad it's good movie. Now, it's definitely a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously. There's definitely some humor in it, but it is actually a solid movie. It felt like the tone and vibe feels like a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously, and you can have fun with it, and it's just entertaining and a good time. But it felt like production value wise, they finally taking themselves motherfucking serious. Like, I was very, very pleasantly surprised. I would never recommend Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. I would never recommend Bambi, even though I had fun with those movies. You got to be a certain audience. Like, I like bad horror movies. Like I said, I would actually recommend Pinocchio for just horror fans in general. It was actually I was so surprised. Y'all, they're trying to make real movies now. Like, it's not a game no more. It's not a joke no more. This little cinematic universe is not a joke no more. It's not a joke no more. That's true of most actors. Jason found his lane, and yes, and I love that. Well, yes, we had a horror thriller serious tone for a Hansel and Gretel movie, but this is different. This is an actual like cinematic universe that a certain crew is doing. So yeah, we did have a serious Hansel and Gretel movie, but this is different. Pinocchio Unstrung, I gave 4 out of 5. Of course, y'all, it's the typical like original Pinocchio story where you have who is Geppetto? Was Geppetto the puppet, or was it the man who made the puppet? Or was it the cricket? I don't know, but you have the man who makes the puppet, and you have the puppet Pinocchio. Yeah, Pinocchio is the puppet, and he basically you have a man who makes a puppet, and the puppet wants to be a real boy. That's the children's tale, and that is basically the movie. You have a puppet that wants to be a real boy, but it's a horrified version. I thought the story was solid. The violence, the kills, the gore was good. The acting was good, and y'all know that acting be real. Like I said, these movies in this little cinematic universe, they be so bad. They're good movies. Them actors be bad, baby. I'm so sorry. But Pinocchio, the actress was actually good, and it's a notable actor in the film that we always see play a villain. And if my memory serves, this is the first time they got an actual name actor. They got an actual character actor, known character actor for Pinocchio Unstrung. Like they stepped their game up. Now, are all the side characters like the highest caliber of acting? No, but it's not bad acting. It's passable. It's solid. It's good. I feel like go into Pinocchio just expecting like a popcorn good time type of movie. Like it's nothing to take too seriously. You can't be picking it apart and dissecting and saying this is unbelievable. Take it for what it is. It's a good time. It's a good time. How do you feel about that Pinocchio horror movie that came out back in the? I never heard of a Pinocchio horror movie that came out back in the day. I thought this was the first one, child. He was the father who. Okay, so Geppetto is the man who made the puppet. Okay, he was the father who made Pinocchio to be his son. Okay, so I don't know if I said, but I gave Pinocchio Unstrung 4 out of 5 stars. Y'all, this next movie, I hate the title of this movie. It's so ugly, and I had to look it up. I was like, what does this word even mean? But the word is just ugly. It doesn't fall off the tongue well. Like, I feel like when you make a movie, you need like a title with some pizzazz. You need a title that's easy to say. So this next movie is called Pillion. Hate that title, but when I tell y'all, Pillion was actually the start of my good streak. That was the start of my good run. Because like I said, I was in a downward run for 2026. The movies wasn't doing too good. I kept watching dud after dud after dud. Pillion started me on an upward trajectory. So, first of all, I might do I'm trying to think if I want to do like a dedicated upload video for Pillion, because I need more people to watch this movie. I need more people to talk about this movie. I want somebody to watch this movie so bad because I ain't got nobody to talk to about this movie. And I want to talk about this movie so bad. But Pillion and okay. Let me try to get myself together, child, because I'm just so excited. So, first of all, if you've been on the channel, I've been in my weird movie era, okay? And I feel like it started when I saw what's that movie about a sacred deer? To kill a sacred deer? No, am I thinking of To Kill a Mockingbird? It might not be To Kill a Sacred Deer, but it's something about a deer, something about a sacred deer. It's like a really like quirky, offbeat, weird movie, right? And that's not typically my judge. I don't like weird. I don't like offbeat. I don't like quirky. That's not my thing. But I've been in that era. I'm in that era right now. Pillion is absolutely a quirky, weird movie. Okay. So Pillion, I just so happened to come across this on my HBO Max app. And I was like, Alexander Skarsgård? And I know the other white boy. He played in the Old Guard. I was like, what is this? Pillion is, and don't let the little marketing fool you. So on the poster for Pillion, for some reason, the poster says the greatest romance story ever told. This movie is not, y'all, no, this is not a romance movie. Like, I don't know why they put that on the marketing. Pillion is a movie about a young gay guy. I was trying to pin down his age. Alexander Skarsgård is obviously an older man, but I couldn't pin down the other, like how old the other guy was supposed to be. But I'm going to say early 20s. So the movie is about a young gay guy in his early 20s getting into his very first relationship. And when I tell y'all, this was the craziest, this had to be the number one craziest movie I ever saw in my whole entire life. But it was so fascinating. It was riveting. It was so good. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. And I feel like it's a lot that maybe I don't understand because I'm not in like the gay world. But it was just because the movie is about gay men. The whole movie is just about gay men. And it was just so, I was just so glued to the screen, and I was having such big reactions to the movie, which is very, I feel like I can't remember the last time I had such big reactions to a movie, like literal big reactions, like just big feelings about the movie. So, and also, don't dive into the deep end with no life vest like I did. When I watched this on HBO Max, it said like unrated version. Maybe just watch the regular movie. Don't watch the I think I don't know because I only saw the unrated version, but I'm going to presume the unrated version has all the explicit sex scenes in the damn movie. I didn't know that when I watched it. I just was like, because usually, and probably because I'm a horror person, usually when you see unrated, that means you're going to get all the violence, but I really didn't know what the movie was. I just came across it. I'm like, I knew it was going to be gay people. You can tell from the cover, but I didn't know what genre, I didn't know anything. I just saw I was like, oh, what is this? It just looked, it piqued my interest. But anyway, so the movie is about the young gay guy getting into his very, very first relationship ever. And I really don't want to give nothing away, but y'all watch that movie. I want people to watch this movie. It is just so good. It needs more recognition. I gave it 4 out of 5. Brilliant performances. Obviously, I mean, you know, the Skarsgård family, they come out the womb acting. Okay, they come out the womb thespians. Okay, the entire cast is great, and it's actually some like really like endearing moments. For example, the gay kid parents are very supportive of him to the point that like even though his parents aren't on board with this relationship he's in with this older guy, there's okay, this is a spoiler, but when there's a moment in the film where he gets like his heart broken and he's looking for the guy. His dad literally drives him around the city to look for this guy he's in love with. That is just so endearing. Like, what parent is driving their child around the city because your child is heartbroken and want to track down and confront this person that broke their heart? It was just so endearing. Like, I don't know. It was really good. And there's also a dynamic of the movie where the young guy is not traditionally attractive. Like, he's very considered unattractive. And the older guy he's in a relationship with is like on the furthest spectrum, like completely massively attractive. Everybody think he's just the most gorgeous thing in the world. And one thing that was confusing me, but I guess I kind of picked up at the end, was the whole movie I just kept feeling like, why is this young guy so in love with him? Why is he clinging to this relationship? Because he's not getting anything out of it. I was like, what is he getting? He's not getting nothing out of the relationship. But that's pretty much kind of the point of the movie. It's like when you're partnered and in a relationship with somebody that you feel like is better than you, that you think like you're lucky to be with them, this person's just so much more attractive to you, and so you just kind of cling to him, but he has to like discover like his own self-worth. It's so good. And when I tell you, this is one of those movies that's not my cup of tea. Like, no one would ever think that I would watch. It's just not my thing, but it's so good. Like, I was just so into this damn movie. I was like, is this what's happening in the gay world? Oh my God. Yeah. And something else I really liked, and I wish I could talk to a gay man because I want to fact check some of this stuff. Something I thought was really cool. I don't know if it's just my ignorance, but the group of gay men that the young boy meets and finds this camaraderie with is bikers. It's a biker gang. And maybe I'm ignorant, but it's like when I think of a biker gang, I think of like hyper, super masculine, tough, rugged. Like, I would be scared of a biker gang. And not that I don't think a biker would be gay, but I would think a biker would be like closeted gay because just when you think of a biker, but they were like openly gay biker gang, like open, like openly gay. So I thought that aspect of the film was really cool because maybe I just thought it was cool. Maybe, like I said, maybe that's my ignorance. But when I think of biker gangs, I just think of I don't think of gay men. Like I don't know the other way to say it. I don't think of gay men. Hey, Dane, thank you so much for being here in the live. Shout out to you. But I cannot recommend Pillion enough. I wish they came up with a better name. Lord, I hate that name. It doesn't flow. It doesn't have any pizzazz. And you don't even know what it like. What the fuck is a Pillion? Like I said, I had to look the word up. What is our next 2020? Oh God, Hellcat. Now see, that was the up. I was on a run, but now we're going backwards. And we about to get into all the duds. Hellcat is a horror movie that just dropped about a woman who wakes up in the back of a van or RV, and she's been held by some strange man. I gave that a 1 out of 5, and I feel like that one was generous. Yeah. What What did I put? Oh, about the emotional sequence. Okay. Yeah, Hellcat was terrible. I could have went my whole life without seeing Hellcat. Oh, Evil Dead Burn. Okay. This was my rewatch. I want to say I saw Evil Dead Burn twice. Where is the first time? Okay, yeah. So the first time I saw Evil Dead Burn, I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. And I wrote, this is one of those movies that ends and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. I didn't love it though. I love the Evil Dead franchise. And I was so massively, overly excited and anticipating Evil Dead Burn. I think this is the first one that really let me down. And I'm not even the biggest fan of Rise. I feel like Evil Dead Rise, I feel like when I first saw it in theaters, I was like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever. But then on rewatch, I was like, why was I so crazy about this? It isn't that great. But on more rewatches, it's grown on me. I really don't see Evil Dead Burn really growing on me like that. So I rewatched it and I gave it 3 out of 5. So it went up a star. But honestly, I didn't feel differently about the movie. But the reason I gave it 3 out of 5 as opposed to the 2 out of 5 is I gave it another star because I was like, you know what? The violence and practical effects and like the horror violence was good. And I felt that way the first time, but I was like, you know what? I don't think a movie that's well made in that sense should be that low. So I was like, out of respect for that part, I'm gonna give it another star. So my feelings on it didn't change, but I just kind of just acknowledged that. I kind of acknowledged that part of it. But with Evil Dead Burn, I feel like two of my biggest gripes, without getting into spoilers, unless y'all don't care and I can just get into spoilers, but without getting into spoilers, I didn't care anything about the people. And Evil Dead isn't necessarily a franchise where I quote unquote care about the people. As much as people go up for Mia from 2013, I didn't necessarily care about her. I didn't necessarily care about her brother. I definitely didn't care about Buddy who read the book. I couldn't stand that blind guy. But I enjoyed their characters as pieces of a whole. Because, when you watch a movie, there's pieces. There's the visuals, there's the story, there's the characters. I didn't necessarily care about the characters, but I enjoyed them as parts of the movie. Evil Dead Rise, I didn't necessarily quote unquote care about those characters, but I enjoyed them as following them, as part of the ride. Evil Dead Burn, I actively didn't care and didn't like the characters. Like, I didn't enjoy the characters at all, point blank, period. Our central main girl, I could care less. I literally was watching this movie like everybody could die. Everybody could die. Now, I wasn't watching Rise in 2013 thinking everybody could die. I wasn't necessarily rooting for nobody, but I wasn't thinking everybody could die. I literally felt like with Bird, everybody could die. My other biggest issue with Evil Dead Burn, I hated how this movie looked visually. I hated how this movie looked visually. I don't know what is happening in the world. Like, I know the world is a mess right now. Okay. Times ain't the best. Groceries is high. The food, don't know what food you can eat. Stuff is crazy. It's all kind of things happening in this world right now. But the movies are looking bleak. They're looking dreary. Where the fuck is the color? Where the fuck is the color? Like, Jesus Christ, can I get some color? Can I see a pop of color in the damn movie? This movie looked so, and I don't even mean the movie looked, I like a dreary type of landscape for a film. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about color. Everything looked like it was the exact same like color scale. Like the red looked like the gray, and the gray looked like the white, and the white looked like the green. Like it was like everything was just muddled and mushed, like muted colors. And I hated that. I want to see, if I'm watching a horror movie and there's blood, that red blood needs to pop. If I'm watching a horror movie and a character has greens need to pop. If I'm looking at grass, the grass needs to, I want to see color pop. I want to see texture. I want some vibrancy. I hated I swear, I was just looking at this movie like, am I going colorblind? Because why all the colors look like the same color? Just was getting on my nerve. And one spoiler I will give, because I feel like this is a spoiler that people don't mind. People always want to know if a dog dies when you watch a movie. And part of the marketing for Evil Dead Burn was a dead-eyed dog. I am one of those people who don't like to see animals get killed in movies. I mean, I'm vegan in real life, so I don't want to see a dog get killed. I don't want to see a cat get killed. I don't want to see animals harmed. However, even though I didn't see a trailer for Evil Dead Burn going in, I knew there would be a dead-eyed dog. I knew a dog would get killed. And my feelings was, I was actually super mother freaking excited for a dead-eyed dog. I said, you know what? It'll be worth it to go through the trauma of seeing a dog get killed. And if a dog get killed in the Evil Dead movie, you know he ain't finna die very pleasantly, Chad. I mean, a dog died in the 2013 one, and it wasn't like, I mean, it was horrific. But when I said they're gonna do a dead-eyed dog, I saw this probably finna be a vicious, and especially because the filmmaker just kept saying how like bleak and horrific the movie would be. I was like, okay, if I have to stomach this dog getting killed, oh, it'll be worth it for a dead-eyed dog. I thought a dead-eyed dog was such a good idea. So inventive. Like, yes, give me a dead-eyed that's not human. Give me a dead-eyed dog. They underutilized the hell out of that dead-eyed dog. That dead-eyed dog ain't do shit. Ain't do nothing but stand. He stood next to a dead-eyed person, and then he jumps, and then he dies again. And I was like, I wanted the dead-eyed dog to be wrecking havoc. I wanted the dead-eyed dog to be running around like a motherfucking dead-eyed. The dead-eyed dog was a non-motherfucking factor for the bulk of the movie. I was so annoyed. Like, and the way they treated this dog. Oh my God. I was like, I had to sit through and stomach that. And I didn't even get a good payoff. Oh, that pissed me off so bad. I got a lot of gripes with the movie, but those are like my biggest gripes with the movie. And I'm surprised that I was so let down because, first of all, it's a French filmmaker. I love French horror. I love this filmmaker's first movie. Nothing was working. Oh, I forgot. I do have one more biggest gripe. They threw the rules out the window. Yes, every Evil Dead movie is different, but there is central themes and rules that we stick to with the Deadites, well, how you become a Deadite. They threw everything. They said, child, we're just finna do any and everything. And not only do we not stick to the centralized rules, this isn't a film that makes its own rules and sticks to it. This film don't even stick to its own rules. It is no rules. It's just the Wild West. It's just, we want this to happen, so it happens. We want this person to be a Deadite, so they're a Deadite. We want this person not be infected, so they're not infected. it got on my nerve with how like inconsistent that stuff was. I feel like Evil Dead Burn didn't give me what the other Evil Dead gave us. It didn't move me. It did nothing for me. Like I felt nothing. I guess I won't say I felt nothing, but I you tripping, Nikki. Evil Dead Burn was the only thing I didn't like was when the demon summoned another That's a part of when I said the movie was breaking rules and not following. My thing is when I see a movie, I'm not even a type of person in the audience who is like annoyed if a movie is like far fetched or I got to suspend my belief. I don't care about that. But I do care about the established rules of the movie I'm watching. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to establish real world rules, but I need you to have established rules within the world of your film. It annoys me when they don't do that. I liked Burn a bit more than Rise. After the intro, Rise takes a good minute to get going. The halfway scene, to be exact, I thought Burn was just a bit more interesting start to finish. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree 100% with your sentiments of as far as the pacing, how long it takes Rise to get going, and how like soon we kind of get going with Burn. But overall, I feel like I just had more fun. I just had more fun with Rise. You're not wrong, but I just had more fun with Rise. I felt like I just couldn't. I won't say I couldn't stand these characters, but I didn't care. Oh, and also I feel like I'm not that person. It's a whole crowd of Evil Dead fans who are like, the movies are too dark and we want the slapstick comedy. I don't want that shit. But I don't agree with the movies are just dark and there's no humor. There's absolutely humor in Evil Dead 2013. There's absolutely humor in Evil Dead Rise. When Buddy in 2013 is like, Mia, it was not here, you fucking idiot. You mean to tell me that's not humor? In Evil Dead Rise, should have put the book back, Danny. You mean to tell me that's not humor? Buddy popping the eyeball into Buddy's throat. You mean to tell me that's not humor? There's absolutely humor in all of the Evil Dead movies. It's just not slapstick humor. But I think there is a deadite, mean humor that happens in all of the movies. And I feel like for me, in Evil Dead Burn, the Deadites were mean as far as the violence, but the Deadites weren't mean as far as the emotional meanness they usually inflict upon their victims. In 2013, with the Deadites, kept throwing the brother's past trauma in his face about leaving his mom who was sick, leaving his sister, abandoning them, his mom dying. The Deadites and Evil Dead Rise talking about, you're gonna fail just like mom and all that. That was missing from. I'm like, where is like that deadite humor? There was no deadite humor in this one. And that kind of bothered me. Like the Deadites didn't feel like Deadites to me. And I just don't like the central story. So the central story is the Deadites want to get a dagger. I was like, baby, if y'all don't go to hell, if y'all don't go to hell with this foolishness, it just didn't work for me. It didn't work for me at all. I don't like Evil Dead movies without the campiness of the original. Oh, see, you're one of the people I was just talking about. I'm not gonna lie, Evil Dead, I used to love Evil Dead, and Evil Dead holds a special place in my heart because it's one of the very first horror movies I ever saw in my life. But as a grown-up, I don't like those movies like I did when I was a kid. I'm being honest. I kind of feel like I don't care about those early movies. I respect them more than I care about them, more than I enjoy them. I much more prefer 2013. I prefer the new scope of the Evil Dead movies. Sorry, it's not a biker gang. It's a social club. My bad. My bad. I didn't know that. Um, I feel like the Deadites could have been real mean with that. Like, if you're gonna give me somebody that's a victim of abuse, I expect the Deadites to be real mean. Like, when you have a character who does what the young man does in regards to the car scene, I don't want to give no spoilers, but that we should have been mean. We should have been throwing stuff in these people's face, and that just wasn't happening. I like the transition of now. Hold on, now, baby. I just said no spoilers. There's still humor, but you will never recapture the magic of Raimi and Bruce. Better not to even try. See, I'm not that person. I'm not that person. With all these fans that are like, bring back Ash, and if y'all don't go to hell, Ash is like 100 years old. That man is not trying to be in these movies. I don't care. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not an Evil Dead purist. Like let it go on. If y'all want Ash, go watch the old movies. If y'all want Raimi's Evil Dead, go watch the old movies. Like they're there. They're not this. They're there. If you want them, go there. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. I like the new school. I like the new wave of Evil Dead. I like the new tone of Evil Dead. I love I don't like I mean, I like that the movies don't connect. I like that we just get a different, little pocket of some Evil Dead story with every movie. I don't want the movies to connect. Like, I'll be honest, I don't. I don't want none of the final guy or girls to come back. Let them stay in their movie. I don't know why people want that so bad. I don't. I love that every film has a new filmmaker and we get a new spin on, like, I love that. I think that was a brilliant idea. And I think it's a great way to keep a franchise fresh, especially when the number one, people always complain about sequels and franchises. And I think this is a great way to keep it fresh. Now, I do think we need to go back to having like a 10-year gap. We had the 2013 and then we got burned like 2023. Like, we may not need that long of a gap, but we need a gap. They already got Wrath coming. Wrath production, Evil Dead Wrath production before Evil Dead Burn was even released. Like, that's so crazy to me. Let it breathe. Let the franchise breathe, baby. Let it breathe. Please. Like, but when something make money, they're gonna oversaturate it. But I feel like let it breathe. Let it breathe. Yeah. Digital loves dark. Doesn't help when everyone seems to want to drown out the color. Don't know why so many movies seem to love drab shades of gray and brown. I don't understand it either. And I freaking hate it. I hate it so freaking much. It's not even funny. But yeah, ultimately I gave Evil Dead Burn 3 out of 5. And I really feel like I probably will, I guess I won't say I'll probably never rewatch it, but I don't see myself rewatching it no time soon. Corporate Retreat, part of our downward spiral. I didn't even finish that movie. That movie could go straight to hell. What did I put for this movie? I really don't know how scripts this bad get made. I'm not even being fun. Like, y'all, I'm talking about bad. Don't need. I'm not gonna tell you what to watch. Watch what you want to watch, child. But I wouldn't waste my life on that movie. Leviticus. Oh my God. I was so excited to see this movie. I wanted to see this movie so bad, and it didn't disappoint for me personally. Leviticus is about these two gay teen boys in like this small town, religious town, and it's basically about like gay conversion therapy, but in a horror landscape. And I knew it'd be like, I knew basically what the movie was, but I remember going to the movie and I was like, is Leviticus the devil? Like, how the devil got a lot of different names, Lucifer and all that stuff. I was like, is Leviticus Satan or is Leviticus a book in the Bible? That was bugging me the whole time I was watching the movie. I don't know why I was stuck on that, but Leviticus is a book in the Bible. What did I give this? Oh, religion needs more disdain, if you ask me, was my little one little short review I put for it. But Leviticus for me is like, it's a slower paced horror film, but I was so invested in the characters. I was so enamored with the story, and the actual like horror elements and horror scenes were really good, even though the movie is like a much slower paced type of movie. The only, like, my biggest issue, I think the opening of the film is weak as hell. The opening of the film is so weak and it feels really like generic and like trying too hard for me. Like, oh, and it felt disconnected from the movie. Like, it's a part of the movie technically story wise, but even how they make it a part of the movie feels kind of pigeonholed in there. It just felt like a typical, we want to start the movie with the kill. Like, you know, a lot of horror movies like to open with a kill. That's not always appropriate. That's not always going to fit the type of story you're telling. And for me personally, the type of story they're telling with Leviticus, that opening kill made no sense. I don't think we needed that opening kill. I think we should have just started with the two young gay boys that the movie follows and just let the movie unfold from there, as opposed to, oh, we need to open with a kill and, you know, try to hook the audience. But I would absolutely recommend Leviticus. I loved it so much. Great movie. Not perfect, but I loved it. 4 out of 5. And then we have Tuner. Tuner is like a crime drama type of movie. I think it's listed as like crime thriller, but action. No, child. No. You're not getting no action. What the? Why did my cat just run across me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. What was I saying? This isn't the type of movie where you're going to get, you know how you see like a crime thriller and it's shootouts and it's baby no, that's not what this is. I don't know why that's how they're trying to advertise it. It's a crime drama. Tuner is about a young man with a hearing disability. He's a piano tuner and he ends up getting involved in the criminal underworld when some bad guys discover that with his hearing disability, he can open any safe. It don't matter the safe, he can open the safe. His hearing disability is, because I feel like when you hear hearing disability, you think deaf. He's not deaf. He has super heightened sensitivity with his hearing. He has to walk around with these earmuffs. Any like sound will really mess him up. So he can put his ear to a safe and literally hear the tick 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 and open any safe. And so he gets pulled into that world. I don't know who the lead character is. Never saw this young man in my life, but he was fine as all outside. He was so fine it was distracting. Because the whole movie, I just kept thinking, this man is so fine. But the movie is actually good. I gave it 3 out of 5. Very solid movie. Just don't go in expecting action. Don't expect crime thriller action. I don't know why that's how they have the genre listed, because it's absolutely not that. But it is really good. All of the characters are solid. Really great performances. Everything really works. It's just, I feel like the way it's packaged, you may think you're going in with something a lot more like fast paced, but it's much more slower paced type of movie. Next we have Soulmate, which is our yearly robots gonna kill us, humans are lonely movie that we seem to be getting. So Soulmate is about a guy who works for this tech company. They're rolling out Soulmates, which are these robots. When am I getting my robot boyfriend? If they don't roll out the mother freaking robots already, roll out the robots, damn it. But before they launch, you know, they always test products first. So the man takes one of the Soulmate robot women products home to test. And of course, things go awry. She started killing motherfuckers. I gave this a 2.5 out of 5. The movie doesn't suck. It is what you would expect it to be. I mean, it ain't winning no Oscars. It's not going down in history. It's not an iconic, like it's what you expect it to be. It's just a semi enjoyable enough way to pass time if you don't have nothing else on the planet to do. Nothing special. The End of Oak Street. I got a bone to pick with movie marketing because I already avoid trailers because they spoil everything. I feel like the art of mystery has died when it comes to movie marketing. The art of surprise has died when it comes to movie marketing. I don't understand why we can't leave some stuff to mystery, leave some stuff for the audience to discover when they actually sit down and watch the movie. Like, I remember watching Weapons and being like, oh my God, Justin Long. I had no idea he was going to be in this movie. I like moments like that. I like, oh my God, I didn't know this was happening in this. Oh my God, this movie took a left turn. Oh wow, this is what the movie is about. I love stuff like that. I didn't know anything about End of Oak Street. What did I know about End of Oak Street? I feel like I knew it was a family. I knew they was in a neighborhood and like something happens that traps them in the neighborhood. That's really all I knew. Baby, why the poster at the theater show a goddamn dinosaur on the poster? That pissed me off so motherfucking bad. As much as I actively be trying to avoid stuff, y'all gonna spoil. That's a spoiler. I don't care. That's a spoiler. It would have been so much more fun to go into the movie like, oh, okay, so something is gonna happen with this neighborhood, but we don't know what. Something supernatural. So like we don't. Vampires may come. We don't know. Baby, they wanna freaking tell me. I'm telling you right now, that dropped the movie a bar before I even sat down to watch the movie. That irked my nerve. And maybe that's just me. But I was so annoyed that I knew that off rip. But overall, I gave The End of Oak Street 1 star out of 5. I didn't enjoy this at all. First of all, for everybody to be talking about marriages on the decline and we need to get married, y'all make marriage look like the worst motherfucking thing on planet Earth. I am so sick of the married couple that hates each other that we always get in every. It's so tired. It's so boring. I'm so sick of seeing it. The same way I'm sick of seeing the kid that's getting bullied. Why do we portray the same exact types of characters and stories all the time? It's always a couple that freaking married and hate each other. Like, what if y'all even still married? Why y'all want to be miserable? It's so annoying. So I was over the marriage drama in the movie. And then once we get to the dinosaurs, baby, ain't no motherfucking dinosaur action. It was one scene that was good dinosaur action, and that's why I gave the movie 1 star for that one scene. I was like, baby, if you're gonna give me dinosaurs, first of all, the most iconic dinosaur movie is Jurassic Park. You're not gonna be Jurassic Park. Don't try to be Jurassic Park. But for me, if you're gonna do dinosaurs, you need to give me some violent, good dinosaur action. They didn't do that. What is this movie rated? Because I feel like this is a PG-13 movie. What is this movie rated? Let me see. The End of Oak Street. PG-13. I knew it. Because there wasn't no damn violence in the damn movie. Like, what the hell? This movie gave me nothing. I felt nothing. What did I write for my little review? Oh, at this point, I'm not sure if the movies actually suck or if there's something wrong with me. That's what because I was on my losing streak that I told y'all about. Every movie just wasn't hitting. And when I saw End of Oak Street, I was like, baby, is it me? Is it me? Do I just have horrible taste? Because these movies suck. And so I'm like, do the movies suck? Or am I just broken? I didn't have any fun with End of Oak Street. None at all. Colony. Colony is a Korean zombie film from the same writer-director that gave us Train to Busan, one of the most iconic zombie movies ever on the face of the earth. And I can't even believe I'm saying that because Night of the Living Dead, the original black and white, and the 90s remake has always been my number one favorite zombie movie. I love zombie movies. I feel like I've seen every zombie movie probably just about. But Train to Busan? Yeah, it might be hard for me to not put that above Night of the Living Dead. So when I heard that filmmaker was making another zombie movie, first of all, I love Korean film. Second of all, I love Train to Busan. Was I expecting it to be a Train to Busan? No. But I did expect a certain high caliber of movie when we're talking about the filmmaker that made Train to Busan. Colony was the biggest disappointment of my life. Not to be melodramatic or anything. But Colony was the biggest disappointment of my young life. Of my 40-year-old life. Colony was the biggest disappointment of my life. I gave Colony a half star out of 5. That is all that I could muster. So Colony is about a like scientist who is creating like doing these experiments. This bioweapon gets loose in like this mall and people are trapped inside with the zombies. Okay. Good premise, good setup. We love a trapped with a monster, a creature, a killer, a zombie fighting for your life, right? Okay, we started well. Whereas with Train to Busan, I was actively invested in those characters. I cried watching Train to Busan. You hear me? Cried thug tears. I was rooting for those characters. I was on the edge of my seat, not wanting certain characters to die. And there was only one jerk villainous character that I just couldn't stand and wanted to die. It was getting on my nerve. But I loved everybody. With Colony, my biggest gripe is the characters. I couldn't stand nobody. Everybody could get it. That's how everybody. Anytime I'm watching a movie and I feel like everybody could die, that's not a place I want to be. I want to root for somebody because at that point, if I don't care about nobody and I feel like, man, everybody could die, there's no real tension for me. There's no real stakes because I don't care about nothing. I didn't care about anybody. There was like a paraplegic lady in a wheelchair that I semi cared about, but that was just like pity care about because she can't walk. So, but I didn't like anybody. I will say the villain character, I did enjoy him and like his performance. That was about it. That was about it. Um this movie gave me nothing. I felt nothing. I'm talking, God, I'm talking about biggest disappointment of my life. I feel like there's nothing better than having low expectations for a movie and being like, oh, and then you see it and you get blown away, like, oh my God, that was so much better than I thought. And then on the other spectrum, there's nothing worse than I'm so excited for this movie. Oh my God. And then you hate it. Oh my God. I'm talking about, I would have sold my mama to see Colony. Like, I wanted to see Colony so freaking bad. Like, I'm talking about from the moment it was announced. It's 2 movies that I have been wanting to see, I feel like a couple years, because they were like announced. And that is Train to New York, which is supposed to be an American remake of Train to Busan. And I don't know why I'm excited, because American remakes of foreign films they're never good. I feel like you can't name one American remake of a foreign film that's better than the original. Like, it doesn't happen. Post, Inside, Speak No Evil. The American remakes of foreign films always suck. But I just love Train to Busan so much, and I love zombie films so much that I'm actually hyped for Train to New York. But I don't even know if that movie will ever get made, child. Because they announced it like 3 years ago. I ain't seen it yet. And Colony was announced. I didn't need to know anything else. Is Colony was zombies and the man who did Train to Busan. That's all I need to know. And I was hyped as hell. Big letdown. Now, I will say there is a lot of zombie action. It's not a slowly paced movie. I think it is an appropriately paced movie, but nothing was moving me. And I like the science behind the movie. So the science in the movie is where, you know how like some species like ants, for example, have like a shared communication. What one ant learns, all the ants learn. That's how this movie works, where the zombies are like a hive mind. So if you're trying to hide from 50 zombies, if one zombie see you, all the zombies everywhere know where you're at. That's actually a really great idea. That should make for some really tense, great moments when you're trying to survive. And if one sees something, all of them know it. Or if one learns something, that part was actually good. But just nothing worked for me. Nothing worked for me. Okay, you named one good American remake of a foreign film. That's it. Because The Grudge ain't it. The Grudge ain't it. Colony is an overstuffed mess, feels like a contractual obligation. I don't know what it was, because I just can't fathom that the same filmmaker made. And then I also feel like Why set yourself up for failure like that? Why make another zombie film? Train to Busan was just such a huge, massive hit that you should know coming behind that, you got to really bring something. And I went in, I told myself, this isn't going to be Train to Busan. Don't compare it to Train to Busan. And I didn't, but at the same time, when it's the same filmmaker, I am expecting a certain caliber. I don't know how that this filmmaker wrote such Neanderthal characters after the great, like, the characters in Train to Busan were so layered. They had a heart. There was a lot to them. You had like the absentee dad who was stepping up, and it's like it was just so much to. And I'm just like, you went from that to this slop. Like, what the? I don't understand. Yeah, Woman's Called. No, terrible. Americans do not remake foreign films well, like at all. It just doesn't happen. Miss Lisa can't catch a break with you, huh? I'm just saying, I was just trying to convey how badly I wanted to see that damn movie. Train to Busan is a ripoff of World War Z. Are we just saying things? Are we just saying things? Bananas are just a ripoff of the moon. That's how that sounds. Train to Busan ain't got nothing to do with World War, and I love World War Z. That's my motherfucking movie. That's my ish. I just rewatched World War Z recently. Actually, I love World War Z, and I'm not even a what's that man name? Oh, my mind just went blank. What is that white man name? Oh my God, Brad Pitt. I'm not even a Brad Pitt fan. I love World War Z down. But it has absolutely nothing to do with Train to Busan, child. The only similarity is it's a zombie film. Y'all kill me when it be one little thing that a million movies can be about, and y'all be saying it's a ripoff of another movie. Like, somebody got a curse and it's stalking them, and y'all swear It Follows. Like, sir, people, ma'am, people, that's not the only film that got a curse with somebody stalking people. Like, let's calm down on this is a ripoff. Like, come on now. In order to be a ripoff, you can't just have a certain element that all kinds of movies can have. A ripoff means, okay, y'all know we was just talking about Evil Dead Burn. That filmmaker, first film was called Infested. It was about spiders that get loose and multiply inside of an apartment building. Everybody trapped inside with mutated spiders, right? If another spider film come along, you can't say it's a ripoff of Infested. It's a lot of spider horror movies. You got Arachnophobia. You got Eight-Legged Freaks. A lot of people can make a movie about spiders. That does not make a movie about spiders automatically a ripoff. Now, there is a new movie coming out called Crawl that's coming out on my birthday. I'm so excited. I feel like this coming out on my birthday, is that a good sign for my 40s? But anyway, I heard people saying, oh, Crawl is a ripoff of Infested. And I was like, y'all love to say something is a damn ripoff. Now, for once, y'all was right. Because Crawl isn't just a spider horror. It is literally mutated spiders in an apartment building, people trapped inside. Now that's a ripoff. That's a ripoff. Because it is literally the exact same framework. It's the exact same central plot. Spiders, mutated, people trapped in an apartment building. But if it's just a spider, you can't say it's a ripoff. So World War Z, ripoff of Train? No. No. Literally not in the slightest. And I love both those movies. Not in the slightest. One doesn't even make me think of the other. They're just both zombies. That's it. That's literally the only similarity. Train to Busan was good for sure. Not sure I want to watch Colin. No, look, watch with your own eyes. Watch for yourself. And the overall reaction I'm seeing is most people are saying Colony isn't as good as Train to Busan, but it's still enjoyable. Like, I've seen most people give it 3 out of 5 stars. That seems to be the biggest consensus. So watch it for yourself. But I mean, I hated it. I hated it. If I were to get a robot, I need a remote control. I want my robot. The only thing that would keep me from getting a robot is I don't trust these corporations, and I know they're gonna be like recording me and spying on me through the eyes of the robot. I'm gonna have to rip the eyes out, or either like put a blindfold on my robot, and my robot gonna have to be smart enough to learn how to maneuver without no seat, without no sight, because I just know these companies gonna spy on us. I just know they're gonna spy on us. I just know it. I don't trust. They be spying on us through the damn cell phone and the TV. And I'm not even a conspiracy theorist type of person. I can't stand conspiracy theorist type of people. Lord Jesus knows. But I don't doubt that people is spying. If it's not the corporation, it's whatever little hacker, people know how to get in and look through your computer and stuff, look through the lens. I don't. That's the only trepidation I would have to get a robot. But I want my robot. And anytime I see robots killing people, they're not gonna kill the person they love. So the robot won't kill me. The robot just gonna kill the people around me. So I will be safe. Oh my God. When I tell you that, you know what? You ain't wrong when you ain't wrong. That's why I said it is another in the string of humans are lonely. I wanted to say men are lonely, but folks get testy, folks get touchy, folks get sensitive. So I said people are lonely. Okay. Even though, what I'm saying, the movie, it was the men. But anyway, yeah. And the movie literally opens with a sex scene. But I knew, what the movie gonna be when it opened with the damn sex scene. I was like, baby, if y'all don't go to hell. Like the second it opened, and I went in, I didn't go in with no kind of high hopes, nothing like that. But I didn't go in thinking it would suck, because the Megan Fox robot movie she made, I actually had a good time with that movie. I ain't even gonna lie. I actually had a good time with that movie. So I was like, you know what? I do like So Good, I'm So Bad It's Good type of movies. So I was like, you know what? Soulmate got my girl from Evil Dead Rise. Maybe this will be one of those movies that it's not a good movie, but I can have some fun with it. Baby, when the movie played and opened with the damn sex scene, I said, oh, I know what this is. Oh, I know what this is. Oh, I know what this is. If your movie is in theaters, don't do the obligatory open kill or the 2 weeks earlier cliche unless it's by choice. No paying customer is walking out within the first 10 minutes. It's not Netflix. When I tell you, I hate that formula. I hate that formula, and I love that formula, because I love that formula when it fits the film, when it fits the movie. Why am I just not realizing when I read these comments, y'all can't even see me, child. I like that formula when it makes sense, when it fits the movie. Opening Ghost Ship with that kill makes sense for that movie. Opening Don't Be Afraid of the Dark with that kill makes sense with that movie. I feel like two of the greatest horror openings of all time. But it doesn't always make sense for the movie. And I feel like the audience can feel, like I did with Leviticus. You can feel when the filmmaker just slaps a kill at the top of the movie just to like hit a certain beat and be like, oh, we gotta, because you know how people talk now. Oh, the audience don't have no attention span. We gotta try to get the TikTok audience, blah, 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 blah. Fuck the TikTok audience. Don't make movies for people who don't want to watch movies. That's how I feel. I don't make movies for people who don't want to watch movies. So if I need to sprinkle a trinket in your face in the first 5 minutes, as opposed to just telling a authentic story, you're not my audience. So yeah, I don't like that. And I love Leviticus. It's such a strong debut film, but that opening was weak as hell. And you could tell it was just a obligatory, let's kill somebody at the top of the movie. I can't stand that. I can't stand it. I really can't. And I feel like even if it's on Netflix, even if it's on streaming, don't do it if it doesn't fit the movie. I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate the film Mother with Jennifer Lawrence. Do you mean Jennifer Lopez? I know Jennifer Lopez was in that movie Mother where she was like an ex-assassin or something. I hate the film Mother with Jennifer Lawrence. By the time the film had ended, I was like, what the? Oh, you talking about the movie with Jennifer Lawrence and Harvey A. Bardem? Oh, was that called Mother? Why did my mind go straight to the Jennifer Lopez movie Mother? But yeah, yeah. You know what? I've seen a few people say this. Are you referring to like the way Leviticus ends? That's why you felt like the movie ended and you was like, what did I just watch? Do you mean what did I just watch in a good way? Because I feel like you mean it in a negative way. But I've seen a lot of people, or not a lot, but I've seen a few people say that about how Leviticus ends. But I also feel like I'm reading the way Leviticus ended differently from other people. So if you don't want no spoilers, just mute for a few minutes because I'm finna get into a spoiler. So when Leviticus is basically where, like I said, it's about conversion therapy. You have these two gay boys. They go through the conversion therapy and it causes a curse where there's a demon that will try to kill you and it looks like the person you want the most. So these two boys want each other, in love with each other, whatever. So the demon looks like that boy, right? So we go through that. We get to the end of the movie. Both of the boys meet up at a bus stop, get on a bus together, drive off. As the bus is driving off, you see one of the boys that's on the bus standing outside. The bus passes by. It seems to me that most people are reading that ending as the two real human boys are on the bus, and the cursed version of the boy is the one we passed by. I didn't read it that way. I read the ending as the boy got on the bus with the cursed version of the boy he likes, and the boy we passed by while on the bus is the real human person. That's how I read the ending. So I didn't have the movie end and I was like, what did I just watch? I had the movie end and I was like, Lord, I need more gay horror movies. And then I saw Pillion. But I loved it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so that was Colony, and then The Devil's Mouth. Now, this was a movie. The Devil's Mouth is a shark movie. You got some friends that get trapped, it's a shark. And I love, it's two types of movies that I love, and I don't even care if it's a not if it's just a little generic shanky movie. That's zombie movies and that's shark movies. You could give me the most generic zombie movie and I'm gonna find some type of fun to have with that movie. It's some real badly made zombie movies that I love. It's some not so good, well made shark movies that I love. The bar is very low, is what I'm saying. The Devil's Mouth, one of the worst movies I saw all year. The Devil's Mouth, I gave a half star. Um, Nobody could act. And I said earlier, I have no problem suspending belief, but baby, you can't go too far. You can't go too far. They had this damn shark doing pirouettes and jumping 10, 20, 50 feet in the sky. I was watching this movie like, big sharks don't do this. They had this shark doing all kind of buffoonery that a damn shark cannot do. And you know, these movies take liberties. Starks. Sharks don't stalk people, eat humans, don't even like to eat humans. I don't care about none of that. I just watch the movie and I have a good time, child. They be making sharks appear in a way that sharks are not in real life. But when you got the shark razzling, dazzling, flipping around, twirling, spinning like a damn ballerina, and it's not explained by a genetically modified shark that can swim backwards like in Deep Blue Sea, baby, I'm checking all the way out. This shark jumped up on the mountain and pulled a nigga down into. Baby, I said, okay, y'all going too far. Baby, y'all playing. Now I know y'all playing. And I'm not exaggerating. The shark jumped out of the water, jumped on the mountain, pulled the nigga down. I said, baby, this movie need to go to hell. I'm talking about that movie was so goddamn terrible. It ain't even funny. Then we have Over Your Dead Body. This isn't even my type of movie. I really don't care for comedy. But I gave it a chance because my man, blame it on the movies, man. Mickey from Scream 2. Timothy Olyphant is in Over Your Dead Body. That is literally the only reason I saw this movie. And really, I saw this movie. I didn't know he was in it. I knew it was the two lead people. But I saw somebody say they hated this movie. No. They didn't say they hated the movie. They said they loved the movie, but they hated Timothy Olyphant's character because he was overacting and he was acting like his character from Scream 2. So I said, well, hell, I need to watch the movie because I love Timothy Olyphant and I loved his over-the-top acting as Mickey in Scream 2. So I decided to watch the movie. And that was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. Again, we get the typical miserable married couple trope that we was talking about with the end of Oak Street. And all I could think while watching Over Your Dead Body is, I'll be damned if I'm ever this miserable with somebody. I don't understand. I really want to just cut people's brains open and try to figure out why y'all stay miserable in relationships. When I tell you, it is like the biggest mystery of the world to me is why people stay miserable in relationships. And you hate somebody guts and you stay married to I don't understand that. But anyway, Over Your Dead Body, it's like a comedy thriller, loosely comedy horror, about a married couple who both plot to kill each other at the same damn time. But things go awry. The humor didn't work for me. And I'm not a fan of, what is that white man name from that TV show? What is this white man's name? Jason Segel. I'm not a fan of Jason Segel. You know who Jason Segel reminds me of? What is this dude name? No, that wasn't it. Oh, Domestic Disturbance. What is this guy name? Vince Vaughn. Jason Segel reminds me of like a bargain brand Vince Vaughn. They feel to me like the same type, but Jason Segel, I like Vince Vaughn. I don't really do comedy, but when I've seen Vince Vaughn, like in movies like Domestic Disturbance, and I feel like there's some other stuff with him. Was he in Dodgeball? Was Vince Vaughn in Dodgeball? Was he? I think he was in Dodgeball. Anyway, my point is, he's like a knockoff Walmart brand Vince Vaughn. I really don't like him. Then we have some Sarah Weaving. I know that's y'all girl. I know y'all go up for her. I'm not really a fan, but I don't dislike her, but I don't actively like her. I don't feel nothing for her. However, this is the first movie where I saw her use her real accent, and I goddamn hate her voice. I hate her voice. I hate her accent. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'm an ignorant American, but I hate that accent. What is that accent called? Because I always hate anybody with this accent. I want to say it's Australia, but let me fact check before I call this girl something she ain't. Yes, it is Australia. I hate an Australian accent. My two like worst accents is Australia and like London, like an England accent. I hate both. I hate those accents more than any accent. I hate both of those accents because I guess my country has ears. It's so hard for me to understand what people be saying. But also with Australia, I think it just sounds ugly. Like, you ever hear somebody speaking a foreign language and you don't know what they saying, but it just sound good? That accent just don't sound like, it just sounds ugly. And it bothered me, and it was so distracting throughout the whole damn movie. So freaking distracting. But the movie is very lame. The only thing that can save it, there's some really good violence. There's some good kills. It's gruesome. It's bloody. You know I go up for that. But it does strike me as the type of movie that most people would probably like. It just didn't work for me. And then we have Cold Storage, another one. I gave this 1 star out of 5. So Cold Storage has Liam Neeson, and it has the girl from Smile. It's the lead girl from Smile. So Cold Storage is where I think it's like an alien bio thingy. I can't remember how it got to Earth, but it's on Earth, and the military contains it for like 50 years, but then the building is sold and it gets out. And so you got the formula is basically like these hapless type of, people trying to fight the thing until Liam Neeson, who is ex-military, gets there. I don't like setups like that. It's only one movie where I like the setup like that, and that was this, like, was he a vampire clown or was he a zombie clown? He was either a vampire clown or a zombie clown. And these people were stuck in the office building trying to fight. They were either trying to fight zombies or they were trying to fight vampires. I can't remember. But basically, the movie felt like if the dumbest people had to try to fight evil. That's what the movie felt like. That's the only time I've ever liked that setup. I don't like the setup of like these hapless idiot people trying to fight something, and that's what this movie was, and it didn't work for me. Again, I'm gonna be a broken record saying humor didn't work for me. Humor never works for me. That's why I'm not a comedy person. The movie is nasty, so it has that going for it. If you like nasty and like gooky stuff. But and the thing that's so crazy, I wasn't really even wanting to see this. I heard about it and I just like, that's not for me. I don't want to see it. But my mother was all like talking about Cold Storage. So I said, okay, I'll watch it. It actually opened strong. I thought from the opening that this would be one of those movies where I don't really care about, I have low expectations, but then I end up pleasantly surprised. It opens so strong, and it opens with a serious tone. But then after that opening, it's just like this silly, light comedic tone for the rest of the movie. And I'm just like, I didn't like that shift. That didn't work for me. But this, just like Over Your Dead Body, Cold Storage feels like the type of movie I guess most audiences would like. It just didn't work for me. Then we have The Debt Collector. What was The Debt Collector? What the hell was this? Oh, okay. The Debt Collector is a foreign. Soon as I saw, that's why I love Letterboxd and writing my little thing, because I'd be like, "What movie was this?" Sometimes I don't remember the movies that I watch. I see so many. The Debt Collector is a foreign film. I think it's an Indonesian film, but don't quote me. I think it's Indonesian. I be mixing up my Asian stuff. I'm so sorry. No disrespect. I'm ignorant. But that's why I don't like to say what type of Asian. I usually just say an Asian film, but I think, you know what? Let me fact check. I think this is Indonesian. The Debt Collector. Or is it Thai? Hold on, let me see. Thai. It's a Thai. Ooh, I'm glad I fact checked myself. It's not Indonesian. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No disrespect to Indonesian people or Thai people. Um, I'm mad I even said. That's why I usually don't. I usually just say Asian. But it's a Thai action crime thriller where you have these people called debt collectors who basically work for basically it's like a loan shark, right? And we follow this debt collector who ends up going after somebody to that owe a loan, and doesn't mean to, but he ends up killing the guy, and he goes to prison for a long time. He gets out of prison and he wants to like change his life and just be a regular person, and he ends up befriending an elderly woman and her grandchild, her granddaughter, who the loan sharks are targeting, because when her child died and she had to take care of her granddaughter, she opened like a little small business, and she had to go to the loan sharks for a loan. So this isn't a spoiler, because this is the synopsis. This is what the movie is about. That's just the whole setup of the movie. The old lady and the little girl gets killed by the loan sharks. So the ex debt collector, ex-con, the whole movie is about him going on this vengeance mission to avenge the old lady and the little girl that he befriended. Usually this would be, first of all, I don't care what type of Asian. I don't care if it's Thailand, I don't care if it's Indonesia, I don't care if it's India, I don't care if it's Korean, I don't care if it's Japanese. They gonna always come through on a good ass movie, especially an action movie. There is like a sub genre of Asian films that is usually a reformed or ex bad guy, ex assassin, ex thug that befriends a woman, a little girl, a child, and they go on a vengeance mission. But I don't. Them movies don't get old. I love. I don't know why the Asians always make that type of movie, that little like structure of movie, but it works every damn time. It works every damn time. Oh, I don't know what, and I want to rewatch this to see if I feel differently. I gave this 1 out of 5 stars. I don't know what the disconnect was for me, because this, and I remember when I watched this, I was like, I need to see something good. Like, I haven't really seen goods, and I just knew this would be a good one. Oh, because like I said, my Asians never let me, my foreign film don't let me down. It's very rare for a foreign film to let me down, especially the Asians. Y'all, they got the market. They got the market when it comes to action and stuff. It was sufficiently paced. All the acting was good. The lead was good, and he was fine as all outside. The villainous little, gangster characters were good. The little, he gotta have the little goons. They were good. I feel like the formula was there. I honestly don't even know what the disconnect was for me. I just wasn't into it. I wasn't necessarily bored, but my mind was wondering a lot. And that doesn't, if the film, I'm not that person who's like on their phone or anything like that watching a movie. I don't even like to get up and go get something to drink, because if I'm into a movie, I'm into the movie. But I just wasn't into this. My mind just kept wandering. It just wasn't holding me. And the action was good. The hand-to-hand fighting and stuff was good. Like I feel like the whole formula is there and it should have worked. But for some reason, it just didn't connect with me. But I would absolutely recommend it, because like I said, there's just this, I don't know, it's this market of Asian films that always has a setup just like this. And they're usually really freaking good. But I don't know what happened with this one. Because I can't say it was boring. I can't say the acting was bad. I can't say it looked shanky and low budget, and it was well made. I mean, it didn't look like an expensive budget type of film, but it looked like, good production value. Like, it felt like the whole formula was there, but it just didn't work. And it's this sector of movies that they make like this that just always works. And I don't care. I always love it. The Night Comes for Us, The Shadow Strays, Headshot, they're so good. But for some reason, the reformed thug going on vengeance for some innocent people he befriended, it did nothing for me here. And I really don't know why. I truly don't know why. I want to rewatch it. Maybe I'll feel differently. Can I live, Dane? Can I live? No disrespect to the entire Indonesian people, but still, feel me out here. Fuck you, Australia. Like, I'm so sorry. I truly am. And I'm pretty sure Australia don't give a damn about my opinion. I'm sure they are okay. But I literally hate that accent so bad. Out of every accent on planet Earth, that's my number one hated accent. I hate that accent. I hate it so bad. But I don't want to disrespect my Thai, Indonesian. I don't want to disrespect my Asian people, because they come through in a clutch with a good movie, chat. I don't want to disrespect them. They're my folks. But Australia, I got no dog in the Australia fight. I've never seen Wedding Crash. I was trying to think of stuff I've seen him in, because I do like Vince Vaughn, but I really don't watch comedy. I for some reason, the only thing popping in my head is Domestic Disturbance, and that's a serious role for him. He don't even do nothing comedic in that. But I feel like Vince Vaughn is one of those actors. I may not have seen a lot of his films, but he's one of those. You ever have an actor where you just like them? I feel like I just like him. I am accent phobic. I'm so sorry. I really am. I'm just maybe it's because I'm country. Now if you give me a southern accent, but we could go all day and not know. No, I can't stand. When I tell you, I actively know when people putting on a fake southern accent and it gets on my nerves. I don't care how good they think it is. I know when it's fake. I 100% know. But yeah, I don't like. But and the thing is, it's a lot of accents that I don't have a problem with. It's just a British accent and an Australia accent. British is only on the list. I don't think the British accent is ugly. It's just massively hard for me to understand anything they say. Like when I tell you when British people talk, I don't understand. It's gibberish. I don't understand it. But the Australian accent, I understand what they're saying perfectly fine. It's just ugly. I'm so sorry. I really am. I really am so sorry. That's just how I feel. It's a lot of people who don't like country accents. And you know, I ain't mad at it. And like I'm Southern, but I don't sound Southern. Like I don't talk country. But I know it's people who don't like Southern country accents. And I don't have a problem with that. Dodgeball is the first movie that comes to mind when I hear Vince Vaughn. Okay, so he was in it. I remember seeing Dodgeball like 100 years ago whenever it came out. But I like Vince Vaughn. Mother beats you over the head with the Bible, followed by a dictionary open to the word metaphor as if you didn't get the point of the first whooping. You know what? I got a strange relationship with Mother. And y'all tell me if I'm the only person who does this. Sometimes I can watch a movie and I'll love it, and then I'll rewatch it later and I don't like it. And sometimes I'll watch a movie and I don't like it, and then I rewatch it later and I like it. Am I the only person? It's like I don't know. And I don't know why that happens, but my mood sometimes, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes my mood will change on a movie. And I don't know why. And I don't know if I'm the only person that happens to. The very first time I ever saw Mother, I was blown away. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was great. I loved it. Loved it. I rewatched it recently. When did I rewatch Mother? I rewatched it recently and I was like, bitch, why did you like this? Like, girl, was you on something? Oh, did I? I guess I still liked it. I rewatched this in August of 2025 and I gave it 5 stars. Okay, I guess I did. What movie am I thinking? Why was I thinking I didn't like it on rewatch? Okay, scratch everything I just said because it was all a lie. I love Mother. You know what? I'm so happy to have Letterboxd now because my brain is getting so old and decrepit. I can't even remember my own opinions. I can't even remember my own experiences with movies. So I need to be able to look at something to remind me about how I felt about a movie. I just recommended somebody watch a movie and I was telling them how good it was. But then I checked my Letterboxd and I was like, oh, I said this movie sucked. I'm so sorry that I recommended this movie, but apparently I thought it sucked. I forgot that I thought the movie sucked. For some reason, I thought it was good. My brain is old and decrepit. I don't know. What are you supposed to take for brain? I need to take something for my brain health because this ain't good. This ain't good. Okay, so apparently I did like Mother. I will say it is okay. So this is my gripe with movie conversation these days. I feel like people learn certain words or certain things and then they just kind of run with it. For example, I was talking to somebody the other day who watched a lot of Nolan films for the first time. And they watched Tenet and they watched Interstellar and some of his other stuff, right? But specifically, Tenet and not Interstellar, damn it, not Interstellar. What's the movie with the dreams? Not Interstellar. Oh God, see my brain, y'all. What is the movie? Not, I feel like it starts with the I. Not Interstellar. Oh, what is the movie with the dreams? Inception. Jesus Christ. I know it started with, well, I got the I right. I got the letter right. Specifically, Tenet and Inception. Inception is literally one of my favorite movies of all time. Tenet, I love Tenet. I understand the critique and hate for Tenet, though. But I love that movie. But I understand the critique and the hate. Inception, though? He didn't like Inception. I'm like, now that I don't understand. When I tell you, Inception is one of my favorite movies of all time. I have rewatched that movie so many times. I love that movie. Perfect movie from top to bottom. So his issue was that Nolan don't know how to write female characters. You know what? I'm not mad at that. I don't disagree with that. I'd be wanting Nolan to just have an all male cast every damn time, child. But that's neither here nor there. He goes to say, "Oh, it's too much exposition." People get on my nerve with this. I'm telling you, it's like people will learn about a trope or something, and then they just kind of just run with it. Just because dialogue is exposition doesn't make it bad. Like, people will just say, "Oh, you supposed to show, don't tell." Okay, whatever. Like, I don't, that's not a rule across the board. Sometimes you need exposition. I don't have a problem. Yes, Nolan does do a lot of exposition in his dialogue. I won't argue that. But I think with the type of world he's building, we need exposition. They got to explain the rules of the dream world to the audience. We have to know about the different levels and how much time each we need to know that stuff. So yes, the characters have to say these things to the audience. So I don't think exposition is always bad. And I think Nolan does exposition in a way that I'm still entertained as I'm watching a movie. So my point, my long-winded point is, from what you just said, now we're finna circle back around. I done went around the block just to get across the street, but bear with me. People tend to critique movies and be like, "Oh, the message of the movie should be subtle. It's not supposed to beat you over the head." Sometimes the message is supposed to beat you over the head. Sometimes the message is supposed to be on the nose. Sometimes that is the appropriate style for the movie. With Mother, yes. Mother is very heavy-handed in its biblical message and metaphor. But I think it's necessary and I think it's appropriate. Now, is it always across the board appropriate for a movie to be heavy handed and on the nose? No. And sometimes I critique a movie for being heavy handed and on the nose, but sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it fits. And I think it fits with Mother. For the whole movie of Mother just screams misogyny. Like, that's the point. So, sorry, I went off on a tangent, but I think it's necessary. But I completely understand if you don't like Mother. That is a very specific film. That's like somebody eating something that's an acquired taste. Like, I don't know, caviar. Don't eat the polar fishy eggs. But I'm use caviar as an example. Movies like Mother is like an acquired taste. It's definitely not for everybody. I completely understand anybody who doesn't like Mother. I don't understand nobody who don't like Inception. But I understand if you don't like Mother. Anakin, not Vader. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here in the live. My brain is decrepit, so I don't know if I already saw that comment and said that. Honestly, every piece of modern tech is fine, but not like a peeping Tom kind of way. It's just an overview of your habits to turn you into a commodity, which isn't all that much more settling, which isn't all that much more, I guess you mean unsettling, honestly. You could be right. Yeah, because it's so creepy that I'll say something and then I'll see it advertised as soon as I get on my phone. I'm like, what the? So you're right. It's probably not a peeping Tom way, but I guarantee you, if they roll out them robots, they know y'all nasty. It's gonna be a peeping Tom type of spying if they roll out the robots. But I agree. I agree. I know what Nikki is going to do with her robot. Yeah, I'm going to have a man that is going to be programmed to be exactly what I want him to be and not say nothing stupid and not say nothing that's going to get on my nerve and not be homophobic and not be a misogynist. Yeah, I know exactly what my robot going to do too. He going to be my, you know how to have a Build-A-Bear? He going to be my Build-A-Man. What you mean? Sister Act 2. Oh, is we still just talking at the sky? Sister Act 2 is a ripoff of the what? Okay, see, I know we joking, right, Troy? Well, we're joking now. Like, we're joking now. Sister Act 2 is a ripoff of The Color Purple. You can't tell me there's one. You can't tell me there's one, then I guess more than one version of Whoopi on this planet. Yeah, this is okay. I understand. This is sarcasm. I got it. I'm smart enough to get it. My brain ain't that decrepit. I get the sarcasm. I get the sarcasm. Okay, let's see. What movie? Oh, Debt Collector. And then we have Backrooms. Okay, I saw Backrooms twice because just like with Evil Dead Burn, it's some movies that I want to see multiple times because I need another viewing. I don't have it all on one viewing. So I did a whole video talking about Backrooms, so I won't go too much into it. But the first time I watched it, I gave it 3 out of 5. I really, really enjoyed it. Never heard anything about it. Didn't know nothing about the lore, Backrooms, and all that stuff. And then I rewatched it and I gave it 4 out of 5. Backrooms, I feel like Backrooms is what y'all making Obsession out to be. Everybody is going crazy over Obsession. I thought the movie was just okay. It didn't suck, but it wasn't the second coming of Jesus. Backrooms is damn near close to being the second coming of Jesus. I love Backrooms. Backrooms just does it for me. Backrooms is so my vibe. I love Backrooms. What? Let me see what I put. What did I put the second time I watched Backrooms? Let me see. But I had so much fun with Backrooms. I feel like Backrooms is just so my style. I love the little creepy monster. Like so much about like the. Oh, I really love this movie conceptually, but not so much narratively. Yeah. But I still mark it very, very high. I would probably rewatch Backrooms again before the year's over. Like I'll probably have a third rewatch of Backrooms. I don't know why my nose ring is bothering me. I feel like it's twisted. Hold on. Let me twist and twirl my nose ring, but child, I turned the microphone off. I'm finna twist my nose ring because it's bothering me. But I'm gonna turn the camera off because y'all not finna say that I was on the internet all up in my nose. So hold on, give me 1 second. Let me just turn my nose ring because it's like, you know what? I did the stud nose ring for like 100 years. I got my nose pierced when I was 18, and I always get annoyed because I'm blind and I wear glasses. So I feel like my glasses would sometimes hide the nose ring, especially because I have like I always have a nice small nose ring, and I change my nose ring so often. And I'd be like, child, do anybody even get the anybody even noticing? So for some reason, after 100 years of always having a stud, I decided to get a bunch of hoop nose rings. But with the hoop, I feel like I have to like spin it because my big ass Negro nose, like the nose ring is like too, it's like my nose too big for the nose ring. So the way a nose ring work, it's like a, you know what, let me big myself so you can see my hand. It's like a circle, right? And you open the circle to put it in your nose. And then you close it when it's in. My nose so big, I can't close the circle. I close it as much as I can. So that open part, when it actually gets to the piercing, it be like it hurts. It be feeling uncomfortable. So I have to twirl it so the open part ain't on the piercing. Y'all following? So I could feel it just now bothering me. So I had to twirl it. But where are we at? Okay. Exit 8. Isn't that a 2026 movie? Let me look this up. Cause like I said, Letterboxd don't be having the right, especially when it's a foreign film or it's a film that debuted at a film festival, they'll have that year as opposed to the theatrical year. Oh damn! Exit. Oh wait, it released in Japan in 2025. I'm gonna add this to 2026 because I feel like it released in Japan in 2025, but I feel like I'm very very sure that Exit 8 debuted for us in 2026. But I hated Exit 8. I gave it a 1.5 star out of 5. And I didn't know till my little sister told me after I watched the movie. Exit 8 is based on a video game, but basically Exit 8 is about a young man who is in a train station and he goes to a certain part of the train station and he gets trapped. And all he has to do, instructions are on the wall. It tells him exactly how to get the hell out of there. When I tell you I'd have been out of there in 5 minutes, but this fool could not follow instructions and directions to save his life. So he just stays in this loop the whole movie. I thought the movie, I mean, I don't want to say the movie was repetitive because it's kind of like Groundhog Day type of movie. Of course, we're going to see the same stuff. He's trapped in this loop trying to get out, but it just got old so quick because he was getting on my nerve. He was so stupid. Everything was getting on my nerve, and this just didn't vibe with me. What did I put for my? Oh, the real horror is how grown adults cannot follow simple rules. Like, do you know the definition of anomaly, you freaking idiots? Because basically, the instructions would tell you what you're supposed to do, right, in order to get out. And one of the main things was if you see an anomaly, do not keep going. This fool would see anomalies, and I'm like, turn back. That's an anomaly. You're supposed to turn back. It was getting on my last nerves. But it was just so much of kind of just nothing happening. Because even if you have a Groundhog Day type of movie, like a Happy Death Day, we're going through basically the same thing, but there should be a forward momentum. There should be something happening. And the whole movie for me with Exit 8 just felt like there was no forward momentum. And it really irked me. And I was bored to tears. And literally, y'all know I'm the queen of pulling a DNF and cutting the movie off. The only reason I didn't give in to that is because I wanted to see how the movie would end. I did want to see how the movie would end. Next, we have The Furious, which is another one of my Asian films. And I gave this 4 out of 5. When I tell you, this is a hill I will die on. Nobody does action like Asia. Not American cinema, not French. Nobody does action like Asian. Nobody is better at fight, choreography, and stunts than Asia. Period, bar none. That is a hill I will die on. Let me see specifically what The Furious is. What type of Asian? This is Thai. Okay, this is a Thai film. Nobody, I don't care if it's Thai, I don't care if it's Indonesia, I don't care if it's The Raid, I don't care if it's Japanese. Nobody does action like Asia. Point blank period. So The Furious is a movie about a man whose daughter gets kidnapped, and so he goes to track down the human traffickers to save his daughter. And at the same time, there's a man whose wife went missing because of these human traffickers, and he's trying to track her down. And they both go on separate paths to track their people down and go after these human traffickers. And their paths end up connecting. And so we get to a certain point in the movie, they start working together to try and save the wife and the daughter. And it's a whole bunch of action, fighting, stunts, really fun, like one-man army type of stuff, even though it's 2 men against the army. When I tell y'all, as a lifelong action and horror fan, it is not many times you gonna hear me say I'm seeing some ish I ain't never seen before. Literally, I do not say that. Baby, I saw some ish I ain't never seen before. These niggas was fighting on bikes. Like, they was fighting with bicycles. Like, I don't know. It was just so, I was just like, what in the, they did so much like fighting type of stuff. I was just like, so. And if you've been on this channel, you know I always say the only genre to rival horror for me as far as what I like the most is action. The number 1 genre I watch my whole life is horror. And the number 2 genre I've watched the most gotta be an action movie. I love an action movie. Oh my God. I love fighting. I love stunts. I love it. This was so good. My biggest issue and gripe with this movie is once we get to the 3rd act, well, 2 big gripes. But one is kind of a spoiler. But maybe not a spoiler because you won't know who I'm talking about. When you see the movie, you won't know who I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to tell you my 2 big gripes, and they're not spoilers because you ain't even going to know what I'm talking about. My 2 biggest gripes is, for some reason, they decided they wanted one of the bad guys to be like a Michael Myers. Like, this nigga would not die. He would get bashed in, like a hole is in his skull, and this nigga still popping up killing people. It was getting on my nerve. And the movie is very grounded in reality. Okay, this isn't a horror movie. But for some reason, they would not kill this one bad guy off. And there's a lot of bad guys in the movie, but this one bad guy kept popping up like Michael Myers. You would think he was dead. He would literally get his skull bashed in, all kind of stuff, and he would be popping up. It got on my last nerve. It just like, I had fun with his character. He was a good character. We had a good fight with him, but it felt like the character overstayed his welcome. And I was just like, if y'all don't kill this nigga off, I don't understand why he here. And then my second biggest gripe was when we get to the third act of the film. We all know when we see an action movie, it don't matter if it's John Wick, it don't matter what it is. There is something called fight choreography. They ain't just saying action and shooting, the actors just fighting. They choreograph the fight. They're, you know what I mean? Just like you choreograph a dance. But fight choreography isn't supposed to look like a choreographed dance. It's supposed to look like a real fight. When we get to the third act, there is this huge fight sequence that happens. First of all, again, like I said with that guy, this fight sequence overstays its welcome. These niggas was fighting for, I swear to God, they was fighting for about 30 minutes. I said, baby, y'all could have edited a lot of this out and cut this damn movie down. The movie is edited perfectly fine until we get to this end. And that's when it's like, yo, y'all should have cut some of this out. Y'all should have edited this down. So the fight sequence overstays its welcome. It's like it's not even fun anymore. It's just like, why are we still fighting? This looks stupid. And also in that same fight elongated sequence, it feel like them niggas dancing. Like it feels so choreographed. I was like, what is we doing? That is literally my two only gripes and issues with the movie. Outside of those two things, immaculate movie. I had so much fun with this movie. Like, I feel like I want to say Kill was my last like big fight stunt experience of a movie was Kill, another Asian action film. I think they were India or were they Indonesia? Child, let me look it up. Let me look it up so I don't sound ignorant and call people something they not. This was, I was right, India. Wait, did the Shadow Strays come before? Well, maybe the Shadow Strays came after Kill. But anyway, my point is, this is some of the best fighting action movie I have seen in a while. I don't know if it's since Kill, because maybe Shadow Strays came out after Kill, because Shadow Strays is my ish. But if you like fighting and you like stunts and you like action, and it's a good storyline and it's good action, like it's not one of those like brainless, mindless type of, oh, we just here because they fighting. It's an actual like solid, really good movie. It's just those two things for me I had the biggest issue with. I was just like, baby, what is we doing? Baby, what is we doing? But outside of that, like I said, I gave it 4 out of 5. Next, we have Passenger. Passenger is a movie about, you know, those van life people. We have a couple, a man and a woman, fiance couple, and they're living van life. They're on a road, and there's some kind of like road legend folklore thingy where if you on the road, you pick up like this supernatural passenger and it like kills you. So it's kind of like they pick up this passenger and so they have like this curse following them. Weak ass story, but I had a lot of fun with this and I really enjoyed it because I thought the horror elements were so good. All of the horror sequences, jump scares, all of that worked really, really well for me. I just feel like the story was a bit weak. The characters were a bit weak. I really didn't care about nobody. But I gave Passenger a 3 out of 5. And then we have our next 2026 film. Oh, that was that mini series. I Will Find You. That wasn't a movie. 2026. Oh, The Dutchman. I didn't even finish that. Child say I can go to hell. I heard Dr. Umar in my ear. I'm just being funny. But The Dutchman, child, it was some black man, and then you had it. Now I don't know what the movie is, but I cut it off. This is what the movie felt like to me. It felt like black man falls for white devil woman. Like that's how the movie felt with it. I was like, baby, come on now, child. And you gotta at least give me a white woman that's like, I don't know. I didn't finish it, so I can't judge it. I don't ever rate a movie that I don't finish, but it was a 2026 watch. Grand opening, grand closing. I pulled a DNF. I said, baby, get me the hell out of here. And also, it just felt real shanky. It felt real shanky. It felt you can have a low budget movie, and that's not a knock to your movie, but sometimes a low budget movie, I mean it in a derogatory way, meaning the production value was real. This felt low budget in a derogatory way. Next we have Hokum. I was so goddamn excited for Hokum because it is the same writer director that did Oddity. And if you were here, you know Oddity was like my favorite movie the year it came out. I love Oddity. I've rewatched it so many times. I think that is a perfect film, near perfect film. I didn't like his first film, Possum. I hated that movie. So unfortunately he is how you do the sports stats. So if I like one movie and I didn't like two, is it he's one no, he's 0 for 3. No, if it's old, I mean I don't like none. He's 1 for 3. How do sports people say that? He's 1 for 3? No, he's 1 for 2. How you say it? How do sports people say it? I don't even know why I try to use that analogy because I don't even know how it go. But the point is, he's made 3 films and I only like one. When I tell you I absolutely hated Hokum, I hated Hokum. Hokum is a film, and this is an Irish filmmaker, so we're over there. But it's a film about a guy. He's a writer. He goes to stay at like this. It's supposed to be a hotel, but it kind of feel like a bed and breakfast. Like it's a hotel, but it feels small and intimate. But anyway, he goes stay at this hotel. I think it has some connection to his parents who are dead, and I think he's there to like spread his parents' ashes or whatever. It's a lot going on with this movie. I don't even know how to say like what the movie is because it's supernatural stuff that happens. I don't want to say because I feel like maybe that's a spoiler because I don't know if that's part of the marketing. But I didn't like the lead character. First of all, I just don't like the actor. He does nothing for me. And then I just didn't like the written character as is. And he's like a jerk on purpose. He's like an intentional, unlikable character. And I don't have a problem with that. He just didn't work for me. And he didn't work for me. He didn't work for me because he was unlikable. He didn't work for me because he felt very deadpan and monotone. Like he felt very lifeless. And I don't know if that's just this actor's thing. I don't know if that was how he was supposed to play the character. I don't know. But he felt very asleep at the wheel for me. He felt very lifeless. And babe, you can give me an unlikable lead, but you can't give me a dull. Don't give me a dull lead. That's not gonna work for me. None of the horror really worked for me. I just nothing worked. I didn't like any of the characters. The story had a lot going on. I was like, child, what is we doing? We here, we there, we up, we down, is that, is this. It was a lot going on. And I was just like, it wasn't coming together for me. Now, there was one sequence that I did like that happens kind of towards the end, near the third act. There's something that happens in a basement, a sequence that I thought was good. Outside of that, I said, child, y'all could have kept this whole damn movie. It didn't move me. It didn't move me. I'm sorry. And I heard a lot of people raving about it, but it didn't work for me. Deep Water. Was this the one with the plane crash? What was Deep Water? Was Deep Water the one with the plane crash and the sharks? Yes, that is what this is. Okay. With Aaron Eckhart, or however you say his name. So Deep Water is a movie about a commercial plane takes off. It crash lands in the ocean. The survivors have to try to deal with a bunch of sharks that's trying to kill us. Like I said earlier with The Devil's Mouth, I love a shark movie. This delivered. Deep Water was so good. Okay, hold on now. It was so good for what it was, okay? Just a generic shark movie. But I had so much fun with this. And I feel like this was the greatest plane crash I've ever seen on cinema. I've ever seen on film. This is the greatest plane crash I've ever seen in cinema. The plane crash. In my little review, I put what did I put about Tom Cruise had Renee Zellweger at hello, and this movie had me at the plane crash. That plane crash was good as hell. That plane crash was good as hell. But this is just typical sharks. We stuck in the water with sharks type of movie. Survivors is floating in the water, child. Sharks popping up, killing people one by one. It's just a typical by the numbers type of shark survival movie, but it was actually really good. My biggest issue, and this is always my issue when we have a group of people trying to survive anything in a movie, for some reason, filmmakers feel like you just have to have a loud mouth, obnoxious, annoying, insufferable jerk character. And that irks me so bad. That gets on my nerves. Because in real life, all the survivors gonna band together and kill that nigga. He ain't surviving. We gonna tell the world he ain't survived a plane crash. It just gets on my nerves. I can't stand it. And that character always overstays their welcome and be living way too long. And the same thing happens in this movie. Outside of that, though, I had a lot of fun with this. I thought this was a good time. Just your solid, standard, generic, entertaining fare type of movie. We got Obsession, and I thought I rewatched. Oh, you know what? I went to rewatch this, and I just wasn't in the mood. That's what happened. I don't know why I thought I rewatched this. So we have Obsession. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. Of course, everyone knows what Obsession is. We have this kid, this guy who comes across a one-wish willow, makes a wish for a girl to be in love with him. Mayhem ensues. I did a full review on this with Backroom, so I won't get too much into it. I gave it 3 out of 5. It didn't suck. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was an enjoyable enough time. I had some issues with it. I had some stuff I liked. I wanted to go rewatch it. I haven't been in a mood for it, so I just haven't rewatched it, but it didn't suck. It's definitely not on my favorite of the year, but it's not on my worst of the year either. Just middle of the road. Return to Silent Hill. I didn't even finish that movie. Pull the DNF. Movies that bad should not even be made. That's all I'll say about that. The Strangers Chapter 3. I really don't even want to disparage The Strangers Chapter 3 because this far in, we knew what we were signing up for. We knew what it was. The first 2 sucked. But after seeing 2 of them, I had to finish it out. I had to round it out. I knew it wasn't going to be good. We know what it is before we get there. I just wanted to finish out the little trilogy. I gave it 1 out of 5. Our next 2026 movie is God Is. I won't get too much into this either. I did a full review on this as well. I gave this 4 out of 5. Is God Is the directorial debut of writer-director, previous playwright Alicia Harris. It is a revenge tale, black revenge tale about 2 little girls who were burned. Their mother was burned by their abusive father. They grow up. They thought their mother was dead. She's alive. She sends them on a revenge mission to kill their dad. I had a lot of issues with this movie, but I had a lot of things that I really loved about it. And I gave that 4 out of 5. That is definitely on my list of one of my favorites of the year. And Predator Badlands, was that 25 or 26? Was that this year or was that last year? I feel like that was last year because I feel like it took me a long time to get around to it. Yeah, that was 2025. Iron. Why do I feel like I'm saying that weird? Iron, is it? No, it can't be iron. Iron sounds stupid as hell. It can't be iron. I know it ain't no 2 syllables. Iron Lung. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Iron Lung. I put a DNF. Can't rate it. Like I said, I don't rate movies I don't finish. And I really gave this a good old try. I really did. I feel like I sat through this for at least a good 30 minutes. Iron Lung, I don't even know how to say what this movie is about. Because I was watching it like, babe, what is this about? I want to say we're either in like a futuristic world, a post-apocalyptic world, but we don't see the post-apocalyptic world. But I feel like that's what we're in. We have a guy who's, I guess, a prisoner from jail or something, and he's like forced or either, yeah, he's forced to like be in like some ship and go into space and do research. Like, I don't even know what I was watching. I was like, what is this about? What is happening? I think he went into space and he had to do some kind of and I'm also trying to remember, child. I saw this back in May. I think he went to space and he was inside a ship and he wanted to go up, but they wouldn't let him. He was like, I did my job, but they was like, no, do more stuff. I couldn't really get into it. It just wasn't for me. And it feels like the type of movie that, you know, people would probably like, but it just wasn't for me. What did I write for my review for this? Oh, you know what? This tracks. It says, I was just confused the entire time. Am I dumb? I don't know what the hell was going on. You know what? And I didn't even remember I wrote that, but that tracks. Because as I'm sitting here trying to recount the movie, I'm like, I don't even know what was happening. I don't even know what was going on. Then we have Psycho Killer. This is one I was excited for. Georgina Campbell is one of our new little scream queens, and one of our scream queens is not white because they always white. So I think she's blackish, and I'll take what I can get. You know, the girl from Barbarian. That's Regina Campbell. Psycho Killer is where a female cop husband is killed by a serial killer, and she goes to track down the serial killer. This was boring as hell. What did I put for my review? I don't know. I don't know who happened, what happened, or why it happened. All I know is they kept saying slasher, slasher, slasher. I think the serial killer name was like Slasher or something, and they kept saying it a nauseating amount of times in the movie. They just kept saying it, and it was getting on my nerve. But, child, yeah, it was. I didn't even finish it. It's fair to say the fight is over choreographed, but I will take that every damn time over shaky cam. Oh, I hate that too. Over shaky cam with 1,000,000 1 second cuts where all spacing is not only lost but actively ignored. Yeah, I hate that too. I hate I want to see the action. Like I want to see. But yeah, definitely, and that's something else I love. Why I say Asia does action the best, and especially fight choreography and stuff. Because you can actually see what's happening. They're not cutting fast, and you can't even see who hit who, what. You can actually see, and that grinds my gears so bad. Is when it's all those quick cuts, and I can't even see. I'm here for the fighting. I want to see the niggas fight. Let me see the action. The first hour of Backrooms was good. The last part is where it lost me. What do you mean when you say lost you? Like lost you as far as you didn't enjoy it, or lost you as far as like you was confused? But I love Background. I do feel like narratively it was very weak. But man, it had everything else. I feel like aesthetically, conceptually, oh my god, Backrooms was so up my alley when it came to that stuff. Nikki isn't Southern, she's from Florida. That's the South. Go look at a map. Go back to geography class, Dane. Florida is in the South. It is in the southern region of the United States. So what are you saying? What is Florida then? Are we the East? Are we Northeast? Are we up West? Are we up North? I'm talking about up West. Are we up North, Dane? Where are we? Where are we when we're in Florida? We're in the South. And it don't get no more country than Jacksonville, Florida, child. Show don't tell is writing rule. People take too far. Abso-freaking-lutely, it gets on my goddamn nerve. Like, yes, everything shouldn't be explained, but that doesn't mean nothing can be explained. You said that perfectly. Everything shouldn't be explained, but that doesn't mean nothing can be explained 100%. And my thing is, when I make arguments like this, the number one thing I hate, the most egregious thing for a movie to do, in my opinion, is to treat the audience like we're idiots, to treat the audience like we're dumb, to feel like you need to hold the audience hand and explain every single little thing to us. I hate that. So I absolutely don't need a bunch of exposition just explaining every single little thing. And I feel like, is it just me, or are movies like dumbing themselves down a lot more these days? It's like movies are over explaining and simplifying. There's no nuance. It's nothing to be left up to audience interpretation. They're just literally giving us everything, like spoon feeding us like we're stupid. I was trying to watch another 2026 movie for tonight's live, but I wasn't able to finish it, child. I had a hard time getting through it. I want to finish it, but I'm just having a hard time getting through it because I don't know if this is weird. I don't know if this is just me. But I was just having a conversation with my aunt and my cousin. I would never say that I'm autistic. I don't believe in self-diagnosing. But I was just having a conversation with my aunt and my cousin about, I was like, you know what? I might have some autistic traits. And that is my unprofessional opinion. Like I said, I would not self-diagnose. I just have a lot of weird quirks and stuff. But one thing with me, ever since I can remember, I do not like to watch people eat. I just have a thing. I don't like to see food go into people's mouths, and I don't like to hear people eat. Like, I will literally die. And I'm trying to watch this film called Saccharin. I think that's how you pronounce it. And the whole premise of the film is like a body horror about fat phobia, and you have this girl who's overweight. She ain't really that overweight, child. Oh, that gets on my nerve with movies. Like, give me a movie like Stephen King's Thinner, where there is an actual, well, he wasn't really fat. You know, the actor wasn't fat, child. He had a fat suit. But the point is, give me an actual overweight ass character. This girl, she got a few extra pounds. She got a few extra pounds. Baby ain't fat. But anyway, that's not the point. But I didn't realize the movie would play up her binge eating the way it does. There are so many tight shots of food going into her, and it's not just food going into her mouth. Like, she doesn't eat like a normal person. She eats like a 5-year-old, meaning she eats very sloppy. I don't know any grown adult who has food and crumbs all over their mouth and lips when they eat. Who eats like that? Like, I didn't eat like that when I was 7. Who eats and has, like, to me, you should feel uncomfortable if you're eating and you have food all over your mouth and your lips. That is just, you should feel uncomfortable. That's so nasty. But anyway, I want to get through the movie, but those shots are just really bothering me. And it's just, the movie is nothing but a bunch of collages. It's so many collages. And a lot of the collages is her stuffing her face with food. So I wasn't able to finish it. But anyway, my point is, because I got to go around the block to get across the street, as my mother says, I feel like movies are really getting dumbed down and really over explaining everything. There's no nuance left. So there's a scene in the movie, and this isn't a spoiler because the whole point of the movie is you have a person who's fat, really just a few pounds, child, who is trying to lose weight and does it like the substance type of thing, like how the substance does. So she's getting skinnier, and somebody calls her out on it to say, like, do you have an eating disorder? Are you doing something unhealthy to lose this weight super fast? The point is, it's a very uncomfortable situation, right? It's a very uncomfortable conversation. She's being confronted by somebody that she's like care about, friends with. She's being confronted by somebody. You can get the gist that it's an uncomfortable situation. After the conversation, they're at the gym. Her friend gets up and says, okay, let's go work out. Are you coming? So the girl who was just confronted says, I'll be there in a minute. I got to tie my shoe. Her friend walks out. She's left by herself. I don't know any person with half a mind who can't read that scene as this girl was uncomfortable. She's turned off by her friend calling her out. She ain't trying to go be buddy and go walk out the door with her. Likely her shoes don't need to be tied. She just made it up. Why in the hell does the camera have to pan down to show us that both her shoes are tied? See, stuff like that is worse than exposition, if you ask me. Because I don't need you to hold my hand and explain every single solitary little thing in the film. Let the audience use our brain. Like, is it just me? I just feel like movies are really getting dumbed down and they're really holding the audience hand for a lot of stuff. Even with Obsession, the number one thing in Obsession that got on my nerve, there's a scene, and it's not a spoiler if you haven't seen it because it's in the trailer. Y'all know I don't watch trailers before I watch movies, but I always watch trailers after I watch the movie. But anyway, they say this in the trailer. There's a scene in the movie where we're literally near the third act. The whole movie done damn near happened. And you have the girl who's possessed with the one wish Willow say to the guy, you wish for this. That irked and it's like some other stuff she say. That irked my nerves so bad. I don't need a character to tell us that he wished for this. We saw him make the wish. We saw the cause and effect. We saw everything that happened subsequently to him making that wish. Why did she need to tell him he wished? He know he wished for this. He the nigga that made the wish. He don't need you to tell him he wished for this. Like, stuff like that irks my nerves. I can't stand that. But the exposition of a Nolan film, the exposition of a film that's like sci-fi or has its own little rules of the film world that the audience needs to know, we need that context, is nothing wrong with exposition. It's okay. You don't have to, show don't tell is not a hard, fast, every single Star Trek movie got to follow this. Like, it just doesn't. It just doesn't. I say you are clearly Southern, but the opposite of me. I don't sound Southern, but it's clear by some of the slang I use. You ain't throwing out the words that give it away, but you want 100% have the vibe. Yeah, see, I feel like anybody I'm around would probably. I feel like you gonna. First of all, you're not just gonna know I'm Southern. You probably gonna know I'm a Floridian because Florida. I feel like Florida is just like Florida is a very distinct place, but I just don't feel like I don't think I talk country. I don't think I have a Southern accent. Yeah, yeah. But I think you would have. Yeah. My opinion, a movie is never final. I don't know what that means. My opinion, I don't know what I was saying. My opinion on a movie. Oh, my opinion on a movie is never final. Yeah, I agree. That's why I always tell people watch it for yourself. I'm just saying my experience with the movie, but you go have your own experience with the movie. If I can't understand British, I know you can't understand Scottish, Irish. Or I don't have no problem with Scottish or Irish. I don't have a problem with those accents. It's just the British one I can't understand. That British accent, I just be like, what did he say? What did he say? Vince Vaughn was also in American Psycho. I don't know. I just know that lead guy that's in it. I in long. That Southerners can be hella sneaky. I say it the same way. I swear now that I don't have a Southern accent, I don't talk country, but there are certain words that I be like, I know that ain't sound right. Like, I know that can't be how you supposed to say that word. Just like a word I've never been able to say right is DWARF. I'm not even finna say it. But DWARF, I cannot say that word right to save my life. I don't know what it is. Studios literally tell writers to dumb down or simplify their script. Yeah, yeah. And that's something that you just have to push back on. Like, you just have to push back on that. Like, no, I'm not treating the audience like they're stupid. The audience is going to get this. I don't have to hold their hand. And you know what? If you don't get it, it ain't for you. But yeah, I think they absolutely do. That's why I'm like, I personally wouldn't want to go to studio. First of all, I feel like any fan of you don't even have to be like a huge movie buff. I think most movie fans have heard the horror stories of like studio interference or studios having filmmakers do stuff they don't want to do. And I do think that gets a bad rep. Sometimes studios interfere and it's for the best and it's actually a good thing that they interfered. But I heard a lot of stories of like Wes Craven being unhappy with his films, that werewolf film he did, the original Freddy Krueger movie he did. People either a producer interferes or the studio interferes. I don't like that. I don't like that. No, no, no. Back up. Give me 50 feet. So yeah, I agree. Studios are probably, especially in this day and age, because I always hear like audience don't XYZ and you gotta no baby, no, you gotta push back as the writer. You gotta push back. But I understand why people don't push back, because if this is just your little opportunity, you gotta get your little check. Okay, whatever, child. It lost me as it went off the rails. I like the mystery vibes of the first half and the last half ruined it. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Um, you're talking about back rooms. The last half ruined the mystery. I would say I don't know if I felt the mystery was ruined per se, but like I said, I don't know if you went in blind, like if you already knew the whole backrooms thingy that was on the internet, because I didn't. I would say the only thing I didn't like was the movie opening where like people are like watching on like video monitor. I don't know why we needed those people. I don't know why cameras was there. I don't know why we were watching it. I didn't like that. I would have preferred if our character just stumbled upon this place and nobody else like was. I didn't need those people. That's the only thing I didn't like. And I've heard some people, they didn't say they didn't like the like monster reveal in the opening. That didn't bother me because I feel like we didn't like clearly see the monster. It's like a quick thing that happens when the monster pops out, so that didn't bother me. But let's see. Where are we? Where are we? It was just an accident. Is that 2025 or 2026? Let me see. I feel like that was 2025. Yeah, that was 2025. Oh, why did I even go back? We stopped at Psycho Killer. I just remember when I just saw that. Crime 101, child. Crime 101 got Holly Berry, Mark Ruffalo, Thor, a bunch of familiar faces. And Crime 101 is where Chris Hemsworth is. Wait, is he Chris? Or is that the child? Is he Chris Hemsworth or is that the brother? I'm mixing these white people up. Okay, he is Chris. Oh, his brother is Liam Hemsworth. Okay. So Chris Hemsworth is the criminal. Halle Berry is a law-abiding citizen. I think she works for. Child, I can't remember. She either worked for Diamond Industry. She worked for somebody that Chris Hemsworth want to steal from, child. And she's kind of disgruntled with her job. And Chris Hemsworth approaches her about using her with her job to steal some money, child. But she gets spooked and she go to Mark Ruffalo, who is the cop. I didn't finish this movie. I cut it off, and I got pretty. When I say I gave the movie a chance, babe, I think I got probably an hour. I might have got an hour in, maybe even a little longer than an hour. And I just gave. I said, "Child, I don't care." I feel like I will give a movie a chance, but I am notorious for cutting it off. But I will give a movie a chance. If I cut a movie off, that means I just don't even care how it ends. Because I will sit through some sucky movies just to see how it ends. So if I'm at the point where I don't even care how it ends, you know this is a pretty egregious movie. And if I get that far into a movie, because usually when I turn a movie off, I only watch about 20 minutes of it, maybe 30. 30 is very rare. But for me to get an hour in, oh hell, I just said child F this movie. Because I was trying to just chug along. Because I did say that I want to actively try to not watch movies and cut them off. I want to stop doing so many like DNF. I really wanted to cut that down this year. And I did. This is not as many DNFs as I would normally do, child. But Crime 101, objectively, it's a decent enough movie. It just didn't move me. You know what? And Crime 101, you could kind of say it's kind of in the realm of Tuner, where it's not like high action, it's just like crime drama kind of. But Tuner just had a much more like compelling center to it. I wasn't bored. I was just really into it. Where with Crime 101, I was like, child, get these people out my face. And I also feel like I hate to be that person, but I'm very over celebrity actors. Like, you know how you have celebrity actors, you have character actors, you have actors that are just well known. I'm kind of over the celebrity actor, meaning I'm kind of overseeing the same people. And I love Halle Berry. The Rich Man's Wife is my ish. But I just was watching the movie like I do like that little white boy. That little white boy who be playing a bunch of weird roles. He's in here. What is his name? It's a little weird. Barry Cogan. I actually really like Barry Cogan. I mean, I like that little boy. He always plays some like weird creepy. I don't know. He feels like an actor that like take risks and does like different stuff. So I really like him. But everybody, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, I was just over it. I'm just was felt like I'm sick of these people. I want some new faces. They're not giving me anything I haven't seen them already give. The Punisher One Last Kill. Are we counting this as a movie? I not going into movies blind really works in my favor sometimes, but sometimes it don't work in my favor. Because why did I think I was so excited for Punisher One Last Kill? I'm a huge fan of Punisher. Huge fan of John Berthenol Punisher specifically. And I heard about One Last Kill. Did I say One Last Call? I meant One Last Kill. Why did I think this was a movie? I sat down to watch this. All of a sudden it ended after like 32 minutes. I was like, what the fuck is this? Y'all, I was so annoyed. Like, and the movie doesn't just end after a short runtime. It feels abrupt. It ends abruptly. I was like, wait, that's it? I thought it was so, like, it doesn't end with an actual ending. It just ends. And I'm like, I thought this was like the farewell to the Punisher character. Was I wrong on that? I thought this was the closing of John Berthenel's Punisher. I gave it 2.5 out of 5. I thought the action and the fighting was good. I like John Berthanel's Punisher, but it just was over. And I was like, what the it felt like a weak story. You pretty much have this like crippled weakling woman trying to get revenge on a Punisher, and he could literally snap her like a twig. And she has this old punk ass bodyguard with her, like, bro, what is you finna do? Punisher is outside his apartment, and she rolls up on him like, yeah, I'm finna have every criminal in the city try to kill you at 1:00. Wait, what? Like, and it was so precise. It was like, you gonna die. All the killers gonna come at exactly 1:10 p.m. Not 1:12, not 1:08, 1:10. And he just trolleys on into the apartment. Like they ain't just tell him all the gangsters finna come kill him. And I think she even says, if anybody is in the apartment, everybody gonna die just so we can get to you. And he just walk in the apartment and just like he on the way home from work, just chilling. And then of course all the bad guys come to kill him. And I'm just like, nigga, they told you they was gonna do this. Why wasn't you preparing? Why didn't you get your ass out the apartment building so we ain't gotta get killed just because we live here? But then they come to kill him. Of course, he fighting through everybody. Y'all, why he fight through everybody? And he go downstairs, and you see the crippled lady, her bodyguard scurrying off like cockroaches. I was like, baby, if y'all don't go to hell with this movie. Well, I don't even know if we can call it a movie. I don't know if we're calling this a movie. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, My Dearest Assassin. My Dearest Assassin is an Asian film about a little girl whose parents get killed by this gang, and another assassin gang saves her and raises her up in their home with their kids. And she thinks it's for her own good and her own safety, but really they did it because it's something that they like using her for something, right? And she's supposed to stay locked up. Nobody supposed to know she here, but of course she sneaks out. She gets seen, and all the assassins come, besiege on this house and kill the assassin people that done, try to kill the assassin people that took her in order to get her. And I gave this 3 out of 5. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't great. It was too much love storyline happening with the girl being held there with the man. She grew up with the man kids, and the guy fall in love with her, whatever. It was a little too much of that for my liking, but the action was good. The fighting was good. As long as you have those elements, I'm going to let you slide on a lot of stuff. Let me see what my little review said. Yep. See, my brain ain't as decrepit as I thought. It said my rating is basically due to the action. Everything else left little to be desired. Yep, that sounds about right. Definitely worth the watch if you're an action fan like me and you like to see like fighting and assassins and shootouts. Oh my God, they had a good ass shootout scene when they come get that little girl. Oh my God, so good, so good. 2026. Was Protector 2026 or was that 2025? Let me see. Protector was 2026. Protector is Milla Jovovich, where she's like an ex-military person. She has a teenage daughter. Typical teenage daughter does typical teenage daughter things, goes out when she's not supposed to, ends up getting kidnapped by human traffickers. And Milla Jovovich goes through the movie as a one-man army trying to save her daughter. I gave this 2 out of 5. Really, movies don't get more mediocre than this. Movies don't get more generic than this, but I do really like Milla Jovovich. There was some good, good enough. I guess I can't say good. It was some good enough action and fighting and stuff. So, I gave it 2 out of 5. It wasn't the worst thing I've seen, but let me see what I wrote for it. I put my mama was in the military and she can't do none of this shit. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I was very excited for this movie. Lee Cronin, of course, is the writer director of Evil Dead Rise. So I knew I would get some good horror, some good gore. I gave this 3 out of 5. I had a lot of fun with this movie. Okay. I feel like the bar is kind of low when it comes to me. I'm not a harsh critic. The bar is low when it comes to me. I am not easily impressed, but I am easily entertained. I will admit that. I am easily entertained. If you just give me if you give me some good, if it's the action, if you give me some good fighting and a likable action hero, baby, I don't ask for much. When it comes to horror, if you just give me some good gore and some good killing and stuff, I don't ask for much. I have heard a lot of people say they don't like Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I have heard a lot of people say he basically made an Evil Dead movie. I've heard a lot of people say it's basically The Exorcist meets Evil Dead. And I don't disagree. But I also don't necessarily hate that. I don't hate A Exorcist meets Evil Dead. I really don't. It does take this movie a bit to kind of kick off. It's not just slow. We start with some stuff because of course the girl gotta go missing so she can turn to the mummy. So some real good stuff happens with that. But once she's kidnapped, it does take us a little bit to get going. But I was actually really into this. I had fun. I was here for all of it. And again, I'm very easy. The lead guy in the movie playing a dad, I thought he was attractive. So that was kind of keeping me into the movie, child. I just like looking at him, even though I don't think he's a very good actor. He had this annoying ass facial expression he would do. I was like, baby, can you give us any other kind of emotion? Can you make any other kind of facial expression? Please. But I gave that a 3 out of 5. Then we have Undertone. Oh, and I will say, Lee Cronin's The Mummy gave me the mean, like deadite, fun humor that I said was missing from Evil Dead Burn. I had a lot of fun. Undertone, I didn't even finish this movie. I feel like I watched it for like 15 minutes. It feels like very standard, generic, typical horror fare, and not in a fun way. Because I can do typical, generic horror fare when it's fun. But Undertone, it is about a girl. She has a podcast, and also the YouTube vlogger, the podcaster. That stuff in movies, it never works for me. It is so boring to me. It is so uninteresting to me. I completely check out when you have a vlogger for social media and when you have a podcaster. I kind of immediately check out, and I checked out. I checked out. Next we have Faces of Death. I was excited for this. I've never seen the original, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. I gave this 2.5 out of 5. Okay, Faces of Death is about a girl who works at a job of like censorship for the internet. Like she looks at videos uploaded to the internet and she either like flags it or she lets it go. And she comes across videos from somebody that's uploading people getting killed, and she thinks he's a serial killer and it's real. And her supervisor, her boss is saying, no, it's not real. Let it go through. Don't flag it. So she ends up getting obsessed. She's trying to track down this person she thinks is a serial killer. That's basically the movie. Good premise. I like that premise. I like the setup. I like the lead actress girl. I have no problem with her. A lot of this movie didn't work. This movie has pockets of moments that's really good. And then it has long-winded moments where you're just kind of like, okay, can we get back to a pocket that's like really good? And then when we get to the third act, because of course, this isn't a spoiler, because every movie with a setup like this, you have the proverbial showdown with the killer. I thought we were really ramping it up once we got there, and I was going through the movie like, okay, this is like a 2-star movie. But if they can end this on a high note, if they can give me a really good third act, I could bump this up to a 3-star. And I thought that's where we were going. But then the ending gets so contrived, so unbelievably contrived. I was like, babe, I can't do this. I was like, child, y'all going too far. Let me see what I put for my review. I'm sorry, but once the movie got to a certain point, everything started getting really contrived and unrealistic for me. Yeah. So I gave it a 2.5. Like I said, it has pockets of good moments. It's a lot of stuff there that works. Overall, as a whole, I feel like the script just needed a lot more development. This felt like maybe a second draft of a script. Like we should have kept working on it. Um, Send Help. I hated that movie. This movie is completely not my cup of tea, and I kind of felt that way before going into it because the movie is about a woman and a man, an employee and her boss who crash land on the island, and it's just them two. And I was like, okay, what do I like to see when I see a movie? I like to see some action going on. I like to see people getting killed. And if it's just two people on the island the whole damn movie, I know it ain't really finna be nobody die because we got the only just two people on the damn island the whole movie. Like I just knew. So yeah, that happens. My dude from Maze Runner is attractive, so I had that to look at. The biggest thing that annoyed me with this movie was we have the female character who just completely transforms out of nowhere and it makes no goddamn sense. So at the top of the movie, she's sloppy, she's disgusting, she's socially awkward. Literally, all of a sudden, we crash land on the island and she's like a completely different person. I'm like, what happened to her eating all nasty and sloppy with food in the corner of her mouth and shaking the man's hand and putting her nasty tuna fish sandwich all over him? She was so egregiously like disgusting and awkward. It just went away when she was on the island. And that was the weirdest, oddest thing. And it wasn't like a steady, like her character, steady change that makes sense. No, she just crashed on the island and became a completely different person. But the movie is kind of what I thought it would be. For me personally, the type of moviegoer I am, it just wasn't much going on for me. We on the island, he kind of depending on her to survive. She kind of, it's kind of like Misery, but not as good. Where he kind of having to depend on her, you getting glimpses of her being a little crazy. There is a sequence that I really loved where he gets into this huge showdown fight with her. It felt very Sam Raimi, but ultimately this movie just felt really flat. I was bored. It didn't have much going for it. I just wanted to see how it was going to end, child. So I gave that 1 out of 5 stars. What did I put for my review? Oh, Dylan O'Brien's laugh was the most entertaining part of the movie. That's the kid from Maze Runner. He had a very weird laugh in that movie. It was weird. They Will Kill You. They Will Kill You is a film with Zazie Beetz where she goes into like this high-rise luxury place to try to like save her little sister. And I feel like I have no idea why this movie bombed. I didn't care for the movie per se, but it 100% felt to me like the type of movie that should have made a ton of money and been number one. Like it felt like the kind of movie that audiences would love. The reason it didn't work for me is there was a lot of fighting, a lot of action, a lot of blood, guts, death, fighting, all the stuff I like. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion. I really don't like Zazie Beetz. I really don't like Zazie Beetz. She doesn't work for me. Anytime I've ever seen her in a movie, right now I'm thinking of Joker, but I feel like I saw her in something else. It's nothing personal against her. Obviously, I don't know that girl from a can of paint. She could be the greatest person in the world. But, as a movie fan, we have actors and actresses that we like. We have some we don't like. And she's just one of the ones that, I guess I won't say I don't like her. I just don't care for her. She doesn't work for me. Having her carry the movie just really brought it down for me because I'm just like, I'm not invested in her. She's just an actor. It reminds me of Uma Thurman. Like, I just don't like Uma Thurman. But Kill Bill is one of my favorite movies because everything else around Uma Thurman was so good. And everything around Zazie Beetz just wasn't on a level enough for me to get past her. Like, I hate Christopher Nolan film Memento, and I really feel like the reason I hate it so much is because I don't like Guy Pearce. Everything around Guy Pearce and Memento is not good enough for me to ignore the fact that I just don't like him. So that's kind of what happened for me with They Will Kill You. I don't care for Zazie Beetz, and everything around her isn't good enough for me to kind of ignore her piece of it. I feel like my favorite part is the very top of the movie when everything kicks off when she's in a building, she gets into like a fight and there's something that's revealed. That was the best part of the movie. I really enjoyed that sequence. Um and then also she has the whole point of the movie is she goes into this building to save her estranged sister. The estrangement of the sisters, the reason they're estranged, the reason a little sister is mad and don't like her, it was dumb as I was like, we could come up with nothing better than this. Because they give us an estrangement and an anger towards Zazie Beetz' character as the older sister, where it's like, well, what the hell was she supposed to do? Like, it wasn't anything intentional. It was like a powerlessness. Like, I had no power to XYZ. So why the hell is you got a bone to pick with me? Like, that rationale for the kickoff for their estrangement just kind of irked me and didn't make any sense. But I mean, it's a fun movie. It's a very highly stylized movie. It is very like Quentin Tarantino-esque type of movie. There were so many bells and whistles, but it still fell flat for me personally. So I gave it 2 out of 5. But I do feel like objectively, it's the type of movie that I think most people would love. It just didn't work for me. Ready or Not, Here I Come. I also gave this 2 out of 5 stars. I like the first Ready or Not. I always say I'm not the biggest fan of comedy. But Ready or Not worked for me. I really, really like that movie. Part 2 really didn't work for me. 2 of my biggest issues with part 2, we put Grace back in the same damn messed up wedding dress from the first movie. That irked my nerves so bad. That felt like trying too hard to have a callback to the first movie. It made no sense to put her in there. I feel like that they wanted her to be in a wedding dress again. We didn't need to do that. We didn't need to put her in the same wedding dress from the previous movie. And maybe that's a nitpick. Maybe that's a nitpicky thing. But that really, really irked me. I just feel like it made no sense to put her back in that. And then also, the first movie, we have a family trying to kill her. And it's comedic. They're kind of inept. But it works. In Ready or Not 2, the way we only had one family coming after her, the whole premise of the second movie is that that family wasn't the only family of devil worshippers. There's a whole bunch of families of devil worshippers. The second most egregious thing for me with this movie is how the hell you got like 10 devil worshippers and they're all inept. I just don't buy that all the devil worshippers, like they're not dark or scary or menacing or serious competitors for her to be up against. They're all there's just this comedic ineptness to them that I felt like is unrealistic. It was realistic in the first movie because I'm a buy that a family is a certain way. But when you got multiple, you mean to tell me everybody is just a clown? Like, nigga, y'all worship the motherfucking devil. All y'all is clowns? That irked my nerve. And it just kind of brought the movie down for me. Like, it takes away. These are devil worshippers. I don't know. And I get that the movie is supposed to be fun and it's not supposed to be like a dark tone. But I feel like we could have still had that fun tone without making all the devil worshippers a joke. I can't take the life or death threat seriously when everybody is a joke. And I didn't take the life or death threat seriously in the first movie because everybody was a joke, but it was still fun. But it just felt unrealistic to me that all the people that worship the devil are a joke. Now, we did have one character that as the movie progressed, he felt like a serious devil worshiper adversary. And I wish we had more characters like him. I feel like the movie would have really benefited from the devil worshippers not being such a damn joke. I don't understand why we wanted to stick with that formula. Was Bait from 2026? Let me see. I don't even remember what Bait was. What the fuck was Bait? Is this it? When the Herring family wake up in a basement after a car accident, the only thing scarier than not knowing how they got there is realizing that they're not alone. What the is this? That don't even sound familiar. What did I watch? What is this? Is this 2026? This 2025. We'll just skip that. That's not 2026. I don't know what that movie is. I didn't finish it. If the black guy dies first in a modern day horror movie, I'm turning the movie off. I do not remember this movie. Oh my God. When I finish this live, I'm gonna have to go pull this movie up because I do not remember this movie. That synopsis isn't ringing a bell. My review isn't ringing a bell. I don't know what the fuck bait is, but that's not 2026, so that ain't why we here. Dolly. Oh my God. Another movie that I was super excited for. I love independent horror. Everything about this just felt like it would work for me. And it has my dude in it. What is that white guy? The white guy. What is the white guy from Evolution? Sean William Scott. And we have and we have Ethan Suplee. Is that how you say his name? Baby from Remember the Titans and from a lot of stuff. I was so excited for both of those. I actually really like Sean William Scott. I don't even know why, but I don't. And that's the thing why when I don't like an actor like a Zazie Beetz, it's never personal because I kind of feel like it's like having a favorite member of TLC. It's like having a favorite member of a singing group. I kind of feel like you can't even 100% pinpoint why they're your favorite. Like you can, but you can't. Like I just really like Sean William Scott, and honestly, I can't even give you a true like rhyme or reason. I just really like Sean William Scott. So it's like no offense to a Zazie Beetz or Uma Thurman or a Guy Pearce when I say I don't really like them. Because honestly, I can't really pinpoint why I don't like them. They just don't do anything for me. They just don't work for me. But I really like Sean William Scott. And I don't see him too often. I think the last time I saw Sean William Scott was in the Becky sequel. So I was excited for this. It didn't work. It didn't work for me. So Dolly is about a couple that go camping into the woods. I don't know why y'all niggas still going into the woods. And they get kidnapped from somebody that is obsessed with dolls and has like a Dolly mask. I gave this a half star out of 5. Good gore, good violence, as sparse as it was. But I would have to rewatch this. It feels forgettable because honestly, I can't really remember it. I know the couple go into the woods. I remember when they get attacked. I remember the Dolly killer holding the folks in the house, chaining them up. They got to try and get out. But the movie just feels like it's forgettable. What did I put for my review for this damn movie? Oh, I know it's nitpicky, but I hate when movies do chapters. Anyways, that's literally the least egregious thing about this movie. This movie was so bad, but I really can't even remember it. I can't remember like why it was bad, but a half star is pretty for me to give a movie a half star out of 5. That's like, baby, I really couldn't think of anything redeeming about your movie. Apex, I was super excited. It's so many. You know what? I got such a blind hope in movies. I'm always excited for a damn movie. I literally am always excited for a movie. Apex with Charlize Theron. I really love Charlize Theron. This movie is about a woman who goes like rock climbing or goes like the you don't know that movie with Kevin Bacon, A River Wild. It's kind of like that. Like she out rafting or whatever. She out in the wilderness by herself and she becomes the target of a serial killer. I gave it 2 out of 5. It's okay. I thought the villain was pretty good. It just didn't move me. It didn't feel like anything special. What review did I give this? Oh, Very Dangerous Animals coded. Yeah, it was kind of like Dangerous Animals. What else we got? Let's hurry up. I've been on here for too long. And I have to have an early morning tomorrow. Redo. Was that a 2026 release? Or was that 2025? I feel like that's 2026. I hate the way Letterboxd don't be having like the appropriate release date year sometimes. Oh, that's 2025. We could skip that. Hive was a Tubi original. I was kind of excited for. Tubi, I'm not really. I think Tubi is the best streaming service as far as the array of movies they have. But obviously, Tubi originals don't be that good. However, they had a couple Tubi original movies that were surprisingly very solid. So ever since just those two, I call myself being a little excited when there's a Tubi original, and I don't even know why, child. Hive is a movie about a girl who is like a lower class person. She's going to go work in like an affluent neighborhood, and she is like warned that, like, be quiet, keep your head down, be invisible, these high class people, and you just a little lowly person. She's supposed to be going to babysit, and there's like something weird in the neighborhood with the kids. I gave Hive 1 out of 5 stars. Typical dribble. I really got nothing to say about that movie. The lead was solid, sufficient enough as far as acting. Everybody was sufficient enough with acting. It didn't feel like a shanky movie. The production value felt good enough. It didn't move me. Thrash, the new shark movie that came on Netflix, I didn't even finish that movie. Grand opening, grand closing. And like I said, the bar is low. When it comes to zombies and sharks, I would watch just about anything. But I said y'all can take this movie straight to hell. What else do we have? 2020. Oh, The Mortuary Assistant. The Mortuary Assistant. I think this is also based on a video game where we have a girl who goes to like work at a funeral home, and she has to like stay there overnight or whatever. This movie ain't made no damn sense to me. I didn't finish it, so I didn't rate it. But you have a girl who's a new employee at a funeral home, and the boss like tells her he don't want her working at night, right? There's like creepy stuff happening, whatever. He tells her, I don't want you working at night. He hires her. Why he call her on the phone to come work at night? I said, did you just say you don't want her working at night? I don't know. This movie was getting on my nerve, child. I really didn't understand, because it felt like he ain't want her to do stuff, but then he wanted her to do it. And he like left her and locked her in there knowing something strange was happening, but then he act like he was trying. I was just like, babe, what is we doing? What is we doing? I don't. Pretty Lethal. This is a ballerina like action movie. Uma Thurman is in here, and it's so crazy. I just said I don't like Uma Thurman. Pretty Lethal was a pretty mediocre little movie. I gave it 2 out of 5. We have a group of ballerinas overseas for like a ballerina contest, whatever ballerinas do, and they get a flat tire and they end up going someplace where it's like a bunch of bad guys. This is the first time in Uma Thurman's career I liked her in this movie. I cannot believe, y'all. And you want to know why I liked her? Because she didn't feel like Uma Thurman. Like, she felt like she put her like an accent. I think she was playing a Russian person. She didn't feel like Uma. And I've seen Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. I've seen her in Paycheck with Ben Affleck. Like, I just saw her in The Old Guard too. I've seen Uma Thurman a lot, and I don't ever like her. I actually really liked Uma Thurman in Pretty Lethal. And I will say, action-wise, Pretty Lethal is what I wanted the John Wick ballerina movie to be. I hated that John Wick ballerina movie. I was like, what is the point of her being a ballerina? I thought that old girl in John Wick being a ballerina would play into the fight style. I was like, she could have been a damn carpenter. Her being a ballerina ain't got ish to do with ish. I liked that the action and fighting in Pretty Lethal drew from ballerina inspiration. All that action and fighting, that worked for me. The movie is just like, it's not bad. It don't suck. I actually feel like a 2 out of 5 might be a little harsh. But it's just your standard generic type of fare. Like, it's nothing special about the movie, but I had fun with it. I enjoyed it. I liked the little cast of characters, the little group of girls that were ballerinas. I liked the villains. Like I said, hell froze over because I liked Uma Thurman. I might need to give this a rewatch, because unless I'm just remembering the movie in a much more flattering way, 2 feels a little harsh. I feel like this could at least be a solid 3. Next we have, okay, we're in March. I don't think I saw a lot of 2020s. Oh, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. That's another 2026 movie. Not for me. Not my cup of tea. And I feel like I knew that before I went into the movie, but I call myself, giving movies a chance and, trying to step outside my box. And sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. Good Luck, Don't Die, Have Fun, whatever. I think I saw it for maybe 15 minutes. I really tried to give this a chance, but it just didn't work for me. Not my cup of tea. It's not for me. The Bluff. I was kind of excited for The Bluff. I didn't have high hopes as far as thinking it would be a great movie, but I thought it would be like just like a generic good time because I love fighting and action, especially women in action fighting. The Bluff is like set back in the day with like pirates and stuff, and you have a woman who used to be a pirate and now she settled down just living a regular life with kids and a husband. And a previous pirate she worked with and stole from tracks her down because he wants his gold. I didn't finish this movie and I got pretty damn far. I got like over an hour into the movie and I just said, child, forget it. I said, child. Now, this did have some really good fight. I don't know who this lady is. I don't think I've ever seen her, but she's a really good, like, action star type of actor. She has some really good fight scenes and stunts. I like the villain character, and I think it was like a main villain, but then there's like a little, minion bad guy, that be under the main person that I like. But something about this movie just was kind of boring and didn't hold my attention. This is not a test. What was that? This is not a test. Is that a 2026 movie? I don't remember this. This is not a test. What is this? This is not oh shoot. This is not a test. Oh, the zombie outbreak movie with the kids that hide out in the high school. Was this a 2026 release? Yep, this is a 2026 release. So this is not a test. It's about a zombie outbreak, and you have a group of high school students that hide out in the school. I gave this a half star out of 5. Forgettable movie. Honestly, I really don't even remember it. I don't really remember the movie. What did I write for my review? This lead character was on my nerves from that girl. Oh, that girl got on my last nerves. I don't really remember the movie, so I can't really talk about it. I remember they was in a high school. I remember she had an abusive dad. And then the zombie outbreak happens and she like runs away from home and like leaves the dad. She meets up with the high school, classmates, and we hide out in the school. And then we gotta leave the school because we want to trek somewhere. I really don't remember the movie, child. It wasn't worth my memory. What else do we have? Oh, Shelter with Jason Statham. I didn't finish that. I was so bored. And I really tried because I love Jason Statham. I think I saw that for like 45 minutes. I was bored to tears. Shelter is where Jason Statham is like living in exile on some kind of island, living, off the grid. And there's like a supply boat that brings him supplies. And the guy who drives the boat has a little girl with him. Well, one day a storm hits, the boat crashes, and the whole movie is about Jason Statham with the little girl trying to help save her, whatever the hell, child. I was bored to tears. And I want to say did the little girl get on my nerves? What did I put? I have no problem with Jason Statham playing the same character in every single movie, but this made no sense. It was dull as hell. I can't remember what didn't make sense, but I do remember it being very, very dull and boring. Scream 7. When I tell you I forgot about Scream 7, I literally forgot about Scream 7. And I'm going to be honest, I said Pretty Lethal probably shouldn't be rated so low. Scream 7 probably shouldn't be rated so high. I'll be honest. I was biased and I was just happy Neve Campbell was back. I gave Scream 7 4 out of 5 stars. I might have been a little too overzealous. I might have been a little too generous with the 4 out of 5 stars. But I was happy Neve Campbell was back. And that's really all I cared about, child. Next we have War Machine. And this is a movie where... What is this movie about? Y'all, this is a lot of movies to remember. Like, please cut me some slack. This is a lot of movies to remember. I know War Machine has that white guy that my mama likes from the Reacher show. Why is he War Machine? Is he in a war? Why is he in a war? I don't remember this movie. What did I write for the review? They really hammered home that moral to the story. Okay, for some reason he in a war. But then he has to face aliens or something. Y'all, I really don't remember this movie. Oh, Jesus Christ. I gave it 2 out of 5. So likely a pretty forgettable movie. I'm going to say I probably gave it a 2 because maybe the action and stuff was pretty good. But I can barely remember that movie. Let me try and hurry up and get through this. 2026. We're in February, so we should be near the end. And I don't think I saw many 2026 movies at the top of the year. Was Diabolic a 2026 movie? I don't even remember this damn movie. Child, we at the top of the year. Yep, this is a 2026 movie. A woman's hope for a miracle cure turns into a nightmare when she confronts the vengeful spirit of a cursed witch determined to claim her as a vessel for her evil power. That don't even sound familiar. And I finished the whole movie. I did not pull a DNF. I gave it a 1 out of 5. I do not remember this movie. And the only thing I wrote for my review was blah. I guess that's why I don't remember the movie. I guess it was just very forgettable. But for some reason I sat through the whole thing. I guess I wanted to see how it ended. But I do not remember. That synopsis literally doesn't even sound familiar. The synopsis doesn't feel familiar. The cover art doesn't feel familiar. I don't know what this is. Next we have The Bone Temple. I saw this twice. I feel like I saw it on the 21st, and I saw it on the 22nd. I was so excited to rewatch The Bone Temple. I really didn't like 28 Years Later. I like 28 Days Later. I like 28 Weeks. I didn't like 28 Years. I love The Bone Temple. It looks like on my first watch, I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. And then on my rewatch, I gave it 4 stars. I love this movie down right near the cost of a blank check. Let her do whatever the hell she wants to do. Love, 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 love The Bone Temple. I had so much fun with that movie. What else do we have? 2026. Dracula and Night Patrol. Okay, I know Night Patrol was 2026. I didn't like that movie, and I really, 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 really wanted to like that movie because of the messaging. But I pulled it DNF. I didn't even finish it. It felt shaky. I don't know why Justin Long was here. It felt very low budget in a negative way. Was Dracula 2026 or was this 2025 movie? 2026. Okay, Dracula, I gave a 1.5 out of 5 stars. So Dracula is about Dracula, and he has like a bride that he's in love with, but she gets killed and he's searching for her reincarnated throughout time. And so do we hit modern day? I don't think we hit modern day, but we hit like years later, and he finds her reincarnated. But of course, the girl he finds doesn't know she's reincarnated, don't know about the woman he was in love with, and he tried to get her because he in love with her. That's who he want to be with. That's basically the movie. I mean, I gave it 1.5. That should tell you everything. I really honestly don't remember a lot about the movie. My review says sorry, but this was really lackluster. I guess that explains why it is not sticking in my brain. Let me see. We should be at about January, so we should be nearing
her
oh
going downhill. As she got older, then it wasn't much.
Now how did my TV just turn on? That was very weird. Where are we at? Okay, let's see. 2026 movie. Oh, Twisted Primate. I forgot about. Why did I feel like I didn't see? Okay, baby. Why did I feel like I didn't really see any 2026 movies? So I just lied. I said I really didn't see any 2026 movies at the top of the year, and yes, the hell I did. Let me see. Wait. Yeah, We Buried the Dead was We Were Buried the Dead this year? Or was that 2025 movie? Let me see. We Bury the Dead. Yep, We Bury the Dead 2026 release. We Bury the Dead sucked. It is not it's masquerading as a zombie movie, but it's one of those grief allegory for horror type of not my bag. I gave it a 0.5 star because baby, I came here for zombies, not grief. Y'all could go to hell. Twisted with Demon Hensu, baby, you better than this. Demon, you better than this, bruh. I gave that a 0.5 star. It's pretty much where Demon Hensu plays a surgeon, doctor, whatever, and he's like doing these secret experiments, kidnapping people and doing secret experiments. And one person he kidnaps, the movie is about that person trying to like get out and survive and fight for her life. My review literally says, Demon, come on, man, you're better than this. I really don't remember the movie like too much. I know the girl from Terrifier is in it. Let me see. Primate. I had some fun with Primate. I wish we got a better story and better characters, but the actual like monkey wait, is a monkey is a primate, right? The primate action was actually good. It was some good violence. It was some good gore. I gave it 2 out of 5 because I'm so sick of people writing these unlikable characters, and so I had to really bring the movie down. And also, we don't need representation of everything. I'm so annoyed they put that black boy in. They had one token black. First of all, why are we still making movies with one token black person? Like, damn, it's 2026. We can't get 2 black people in the movie. But I hate when they write like a token black character and they feel like it was a white character and they just said, hey, we got to get a black person in here. But also, we don't need representation of everything. Don't put us in this bullshit. Like, we ain't need to be here. Leave us out. But I definitely think Primate is worth the watch. Like, I had fun when it came to the animal attack, the animal violence. It was just everything around it that was really lackluster. Okay, let's see. Is there any more 2026 movies? Safe House. Was that 2025? I feel like that was a 2025. Baby, come on, girl. I feel like Safe House was a 2025 movie. Let me see. Okay, Safe House was a 2025 movie. So I won't go into it, but I recommend it. Safe House was good as hell. Safe House, I gave 3 out of 5. It's not a 2026 movie, but I just want to recommend it. I saw it on Hulu, and it's one of those generic, no-name, low-budget movies that you just randomly come across, and it's surprisingly good. It's a trapped in one location, whodunit, kind of action movie. It's so freaking good. I was very, very, very pleasantly surprised. Now, it ain't, you know what I'm saying, but it's good for what it is. I had a lot of fun. 3 out of 5. The Rip. I forgot about this damn movie. I gave The Rip. That's the movie with Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and a bunch of other stars that we know. I gave it a 2 out of 5. I really didn't have fun with this. I thought it was pretty lackluster. And I mean, we know how Netflix go. Netflix, y'all, I feel like Netflix is what y'all say Tubi is. Netflix for me is either hit or miss. Netflix gonna either give you a really good original, like What Happened to Wednesday, or they gonna really give you some real shanky child. And y'all be talking about exposition and how stuff is written. That's The Rip. Very terribly written. It had some moments, that's why I gave it 2 out of 5, but overall disappointing. And I'm so sorry. I like Tiana Taylor, but she can't act, and I was annoyed she was in that movie. Hunting Grounds. Oh, Death Name. Death Name I didn't finish, but that was a Tubi original that I was really excited about. It's about an Asian girl who, you know, or if you don't know, a lot of like when like Asian people immigrate over to America, usually they have like an Americanized name because, you know, y'all Americans are ignorant and act like y'all can't say people's name, child. So they have like an Americanized name. And in this movie, I think she's Korean, and some kind of curse happens with her Korean name, and she is very like whitewash, you know, the typical Asian story we get in movies. But when she goes to college, she gets a group of like Asian friends, Korean friends. And so if I remember correctly, that makes her want to like discover her Korean name and kind of like get in touch with her roots. I didn't finish it. I was bored. I had a lot of hopes. I really wanted to like this, but it didn't work. Okay, what was I looking up? Oh yeah, Hunting Ground, to see if this was a 2026 movie. Oh no, that's 2025, so we're gonna skip that. Baby. Final Destination Bloodlines. Did that come out this year? I distinctly remember watching Final Destination Bloodlines in theaters, but was that this year? Or was that last year? I could have sworn I had a double feature in theaters. It was Bloodlines and it was something else. Oh, that was 2025, child. Like, oh, I didn't see the rewatch Little Symbol. I didn't even need to look that up. But that's how bad my memory is. I'm like, was Bloodlines this year or was that last year? Because I don't even know. Okay, that's it. That's it. That is all of my 2020. Why does my camera look slanted? That feel like I just made it even more slanted. That looks slanted. But we're about to get out of here. Okay, you want to do this? T-Boz is the. I was just using that as an example. T-Boz is the best lead vocals. Left Eye is kind of the Flavor Flav. She brings the hip hop edge and was the most forefront visually. Chili is just that chill, ties it together. My favorite member of TLC, since we gonna go down that road, was Left Eye. I wanted to be Left Eye so freaking bad. I was obsessed with Left Eye. I love Left Eye. She was my favorite member of the group. Yes, I watched Backrooms. I did a review on it on the channel if you want to check it out. I did a double feature review of Backrooms and Obsession. I love Backrooms. I had a lot of fun with it. They Will Kill You was kind of dope, but it's kind of like trying to sell a Tarantino movie without Tarantino. She was Domino in Deadpool 2, if that's what you are thinking of. I never saw Deadpool. Not my cup of tea. You may read this one first, so it may make more sense in a minute or two, but you just threw out like 10. I don't know when I said that, but I'm sure I did. I thought it's so funny because I remember doing my short film and one of my actors was like mocking me saying child, because I don't know. I think I do say that a lot. I thought Punisher was at least 60 minutes. Man, I felt like it was like 32 minutes. Like it was an awkward length of time. It was very strange. It was very strange. I'm Floridian, by the way. We can hide it to an extent, but that child you throw out makes me feel like you have a grandma or aunt from, let's say, Georgia, Alabama maybe. So same. Yeah. My mother's side of the family is originally from Georgia, but then they moved to Florida. So like my mother is from Florida and stuff like that. But like my great grandma, that family, in that age range was from Georgia and then moved to Florida. And it's so funny because on my other side of the family, they're from Florida, great grandma, them age group, and then they all moved to Tennessee. So my family is Tennessee, Florida, Georgia. But that was all of my 2026 watches. And I'm going to say 2026 is struggling. This is a struggle year. Because I had some high highs, I had some really good watches, but I had way more little low bottom. Oh, and also I want to show y'all. So I last year was so shocked to see every year, even before I started logging my films, every year. So y'all know I will rewatch a movie to death. So since I rewatch movies so much, I always try to actively make sure I'm watching like new watches, right? Why last year I came in even down the middle with 50.3% rewatches and 49.7% first time watch. Oh Lord, my okay, y'all, I gotta hurry him get out of here. My cat done jumped on the kitchen counter and knocked something to the ground, child. I don't know what she knocked to the ground, but we going straight to hell. Okay, I gotta get out of here. Anyway, I was super excited that I literally came in so even with my first time watches versus my rewatches. Well, I am even more excited because my stats for 2026 so far. Okay, can you load? Come on, baby. Come on. I have way more first time watches this year than rewatches. I have 42.6% rewatches and I have 57.4% first time watches. So I'm averaging way more first time watches this year than rewatches. And I feel like that got to be for the first time my whole entire life because I will rewatch movies to death. I love to, because it's kind of like getting the same meal at a restaurant. You know it's going to be good as opposed to gambling on a movie. And sometimes when I want to watch a movie, I don't want to gamble and be like, oh man, I hope it's going to be good. I want to watch something that I know is good. And this year, seeing all these rewatches, it reaffirms why seeing all these first time watches reaffirms why I do so many rewatches, because I had so many duds. And it's nothing more annoying than spending your whole day watching a bunch of sucky movies. Like, damn, now the day is over and I done wasted it on a bunch of sucky movies. But I am really happy with my stats. I don't think I'm going to be able to watch as many movies as last year. I was at like 400, almost 500 movies. We're in August and I'm just at 256 movies. So I highly doubt that between September, October, November, December, I doubt that I'm going to see over 200 movies in 4 months. So I'm averaging less movies overall, but I'm averaging more first time watches. So I'm excited about that. And I feel like the reason I'm averaging less movies, well, for one, y'all know I was writing my first feature script. And I also averaged less movies than normal last year because I was doing my short film. So, but I'm averaging even less movies this year than last year. And I think it's because I'm watching so many first time watches and I'm getting like burnt out because the movies suck. I literally went like 8 days not watching any movies. I was just watching TV shows because I was so like, these movies suck. Like, I don't want to waste my time watching a movie that I'm not going to enjoy. So I'm watching more first time watches, but it's making me want to watch less movies because I'm not having as much fun watching the movies. And then also I got on a Law and Order kick this year. I haven't seen the original Law and Order literally since I was like a kid. So I was on a kick rewatching the original Law and Order season after season after season. So I was going a big block of time not watching movies. So I'm averaging less movies overall so far this year, but I'm averaging more first time watches. So I'm really excited about that. I love a good rewatch. I hate being disappointed when I want to have fun. Yes! You get it! It's like I want to sit down and enjoy the movie. I don't want to always gamble. It all tracks. Much love, Nikki. By the way, that's my sister's name, Dirty South, y'all. What's your sister's name, Nikki? But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for showing up to the live. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you.